Hey there, everyone. Adam Skinner here from Instant Weather. We're going live to talk about the tornado risk and severe thunderstorm risk that is happening in southern Manitoba right now. With me, I have Liam and I have meteorologist Alana. Everybody say hi, please. I think Liam's muted. Oh, there
Hi.
we go. So we're going to take a look at radar. We're going to take a look at the forecast. We're going to try to answer your questions and watch these storms as they develop. Storms are currently developing in southwestern Manitoba, and they're starting to track to the east. So we'll watch them as carefully as we possibly can, and we'll do our best to track these storms in real time. So hi, everybody. Thanks for saying hi in the comments here. Already seeing questions coming in. Bob's got a question. What's the actual chance Winkler will see anything? That's a great question, Bob. It's hard to say that perfectly to give you an exact number. You may want to download our free app. I should probably mention that as well, too. We have a free app called Instant Weather, and that will give you a better idea of what timing you might see storm development as well, too. And that gets updated every 15 minutes, so it's good to check back and see as well. So I'll bring up the link to that. If you go to instantweatherapp.com, you can download that for free on Android and Apple, and then check the minute product or check the hourly product to see when the storms might arrive for your exact area. So yes, and I just notified everyone as well, too, that we are live streaming. So let's actually take a look at the future radar here on our app. Let me just pull that up, and I'll just go kind of full screen here for everybody. So here is the future radar. So it starts out, as you can see, at about 4 o'clock, and you can see where these storms are going to be developing and tracking to the east. I see Winkler right there, and it looks like maybe around 8, 9 o'clock or so, maybe 10 o'clock, you're going to see a storm. So we'll have to see. Sometimes the future radar, as far as timing, can be a little bit off. And again, it updates all the time depending on where the storms are currently located and the latest model data as well. So we'll watch that closely, and we will see what does develop. So we're going to take a look at the current storms right now that are happening. Let me just flip over to that right here. This is our new radar product. We haven't launched it yet, but this is going to be called Instant Weather Pro. And we have the Canadian radar up here, the Fox Warren radar up. And let's take a look and see what is happening. Alana, you're pretty good at pronunciation. Deloraine? Is it Deloraine? How do you pronounce it? I don't know.
I'm not too sure about that one. I'll be completely honest.
No worries.
Deloraine, I believe.
Cranmer? Deloraine? I'm pretty sure. Well, we always have amazing members of our community that do phonetic spelling for us in the comments. Usually me. It's nice that I actually have other team members here with me today. So thank you so much for joining. So that I don't just sit here and sweat by myself and pronounce everything wrong, which always does end up happening. And if I horribly cough at some point in time, I'm trying to get over a cold right now. So thankfully negative tests, but trying to get over a cold. But yeah, let's take a look at the storm right here. This is something cool we can do where we can swipe over velocity. So velocity is wind radar, basically. It shows the direction and intensity of the winds. So it's kind of nice where normally you kind of have to look at one and look at the other or kind of see them side by side. It's nice that we have the ability to swipe over to see exactly where maybe any rotation would be or the strongest winds would be as well too. So currently not seeing anything significant as far as rotation on the storms, but they continue to develop and they're moving into the area that has a tornado watch right now. So for Morden, Winkler, Altona, Morris, Killarney, Pilot Mound, if I said that right, Manitou, if I said that right. And if you're near any of those locations, it's quite possible that you're located inside of the actual tornado watch itself. And then if you really want to double check to see if you are, you can actually, again, download our free app and you can punch in your location and that will it'll show you at the top of the app if you're inside of a severe thunderstorm watch or if you're inside of the tornado watch or eventually maybe some warnings as well too. So we'll have to, again, watch this very, very closely. It's just starting to get going, but storms are moving to the east and they're moving towards the tornado watch area from Environment Canada. So I want to pull up as well our forecast map here. So let me just do that quickly as well. I'm gonna go full screen here. So my apologies to Alana and Liam. Bye-bye. They'll be back. I'm sure they'll be back. So this is our forecast map here. Let me just take off the instant weather banner there. And as you can see, we've kind of highlighted a pretty large populated area of southern Manitoba within the orange area. We also did, if you see the little dots, that's where there is potential for tornado development. This has been a tricky forecast. Some models say there's only going to be a risk, southeast of Steinbach in the very southeastern corner towards the international border. Some models are saying no, it's actually going to be a little bit to the west, maybe towards Killarney. So it's kind of an interesting setup where not much agreement, even day of. Like normally day of, pretty much all models are like, yeah, it's about here. But even today, it's kind of tricky because they're all pointing in different directions. So yeah, and as far as it going further north, it's questionable. Like I know we have a lot of folks in our community from Winnipeg, and they're probably wondering, we're in the orange, we're in the dotted. Is there a chance of a tornado today? It's unlikely, but if the storms continue strong and they do move a little bit to the northeast, anything's possible. But it's probably, if we're going to see an isolated tornado, at least from what I've seen, looking at the different model runs, it's probably going to be a border hugger that's right down near the international border, maybe Killarney, maybe over to Winkler, but we'll have to see exactly where it does develop. So that is our forecast. If you haven't seen it already, we have pages on Facebook. You can go to Manitoba Storm Watch. You can go to Instant Weather Manitoba. Those are our 2 pages. And if you're on Twitter, iWeather Manitoba, Instant Weather Manitoba as well. And today we're even live streaming on Twitch. We have Instant Weather on Twitch, and we're live streaming on YouTube on our Instant Weather page as well too. So, and we're live streaming on Manitoba Storm Reports. So if you haven't joined our reports group yet, please do. Hey, look, they're back there. There they are. I brought them back. So if you are on Facebook, definitely join our new group. It's called Manitoba Storm Reports, and you can go to facebook.com/groups/Manitoba Storm. I'm going to put that link in the comments as well too. So let me just flip back over to the comments here. I just want to put that link for you folks. Hi Sandy, how are you doing? Bring up some comments. Sandy's watching on YouTube. Thanks so much. Shannon says, thanks for keeping us updated. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. Michael McGregor from our fellow page, our friends over there at Manitoba Weather Center. Yeah, Justin and Michael run that page over there. And he says, the Her and the Nam Nest hinting at potential in the Red River Valley. So we'll see. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that update. Side note, they have a great page over there as well, too. Definitely go and give them a like as well at Manitoba Weather Center. So let's see here. Trying to pronounce the towns is hilarious, says Carrie. Yeah, I'm pretty infamous for being atrocious at pronouncing the towns, but I will try my best to. Actually, thankfully, we have Alana and Liam here, and they're much better at doing it than me. So hopefully they can help. Dylan says, what do you consider as a chance of a strong storm in Winnipeg tonight? I mean, it's possible that you're going to see strong storms. They might show up too late to really take advantage of the ingredients that we're dealing with here. But I mean, if you look at future radar, let's go jump back to that again as well too. The very end of this future radar run on our app Instant Weather shows storms heading towards the Winnipeg area. This cuts off at about 9:15. So, Winnipeg could see a strong storm maybe at about 9:30, 9:45, maybe 10 o'clock or so. We'll have to see what happens. So Sean says, listening while milking cows in Steinbach. Awesome, Sean. Appreciate it. Appreciate that multitasking. That's awesome. So let's see here. Just going to scroll back and take a look at a few more of the comments. Let's see here. Oh, JC's on Twitch watching. Going to be a busy night for sure. I'll have to keep the dogs occupied when the storm comes through Steinbach. Yeah, so we'll see if Steinbach gets a storm, but based on the future radar here, it looks like, maybe around 10 o'clock or so, Steinbach and Winnipeg could see some storms. But again, that can change. That can shift slightly, so we'll have to see how it does develop. Olga says, Adam, your pronunciation is getting much better. Thank you, Olga, for saying that, but I'm going to have to disagree, but I'll try my best. We'll see. It took me it's going to take like 10 years, and then maybe I'll start getting things right. I did say Steinbach properly, so I used to call it Steinbach, and then I got reprimanded by the entire community for that one. So I think that one, the angrier people get about how bad I pronounce things, the better I do. So that's, so definitely. Oh, here we go. There's like so much phonetic spelling down here. So Willie D says Del Aurain, and Jody says Del Orain, and Chris says Del Orain. We have a Del Orain. It looks like Del Orain is we should do a vote to see the consensus. Oh, and Judy says Deloraine. So it's Deloraine. Yeah, Deloraine makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah, so there's a storm down there by Deloraine area right now that we're trying to take a look at. So let's go back to the raw radar data. I'm just going to unclick this and make sure we have the latest on loaded up here. We should. And there's Deloraine. Deloraine. I think that's, Alana, is that what we said? I think we said Deloraine, did we not? Or did you did? Yes. I think you said Deloraine. We can check we'll have to do an instant replay and check the footage. I'm pretty sure you said Deloraine. So side note, you're muted if you were commenting on that at all. Let's see here. So anything going on here? This is probably just noise. There you are. Sorry, Alana, did you say Deloraine? I think so,
I think
right?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now, just something I noticed that came up, that Environment Canada has issued a special weather statement for the east, northeast, and southeast of Winnipeg for just heavy rainfall after these storms. There's been a bit of rain so far today that's ended the first round, and now you're looking at about another 20 to 30 millimeters as these storms come through.
Okay, so possibly some isolated flooding in the southeast, maybe.
Yeah,
but 2030 is not too bad. But again, if depending on if you get multiple heavy thunderstorms, then that number can drastically change, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly not warning criteria, but it's worth mentioning for sure. And that's what Environment Canada has done.
Awesome. Cool. I appreciate that. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, so these are the storms we're watching closely. Let's, I'm going to hit animate here and we'll take a look at what we're dealing with as far as direction. See, they look like they're going northeast, but they're building to the east, which is interesting, which is kind of a classic supercell type direction where it looks like it's stretching northeast, but if you just watch the bottom of the storm, it just keeps moving east. So this is kind of moving to the northeast. So it's possible that the whole system is kind of spiraling around. As you can see, the storms are kind of, actually you can't see because I don't have that on screen, but here you can see storms are moving southeast in the west and they're moving northeast on the right. So so they're definitely spinning around here. It's an interesting setup. But yeah, this is the storm that we are watching, but there is potential for further development. So we'll see. The warm sector might be an issue as well too, with it maybe not moving as far north as it should have. So, hopefully things come together to mitigate the severe risk. Obviously, we don't want severe thunderstorms. Unless you're like a huge severe thunderstorm fan. But of course, you don't want what comes with them, right? To have devastating tornadoes and that type of thing as well. So, hopefully, if one does happen, it's in the middle of a field somewhere and doesn't affect anybody. But obviously, we have to pay close attention because if it goes anywhere near population, that's going to be an issue. So, yeah. And Mandy brought it up as well too. She said, "Can you talk about today's cap?" Yeah. So, the cap could, potentially hinder the development as well too. You see the storms it's interesting. The storms to the right. They kind of popped up and then they're kind of dying out actually. So, which is interesting, but this one near Deloraine seems to continue to go. But as you can see, these popped up and they look like they're about to do something towards Belmont and now they're kind of fizzling out. So, strong cap in place, it could mitigate storm development. So we're going to have to watch that closely, but storms are already starting to pop up. And I think the fact that storms did already start to develop is the reason Environment Canada went with the tornado watch, because the ingredients are most certainly there. We should actually bring up an interesting, we have a few different interesting images here we can bring up. This is one of them. This is the classic, the difference between a watch and a warning. That one's pretty clear. No one knows who created that one. That's been around for a long, long time. This one's even cooler. This was a tweet by the Norman Fire Department, the Normal Fire Department in Illinois. And so a watch is the ingredients, and then you have a taco warning, which would be a taco is actually being produced or has the opportunity to be produced. So if you're wondering the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning, tornado watch, someone had a really good phrase once, which was watch a warning get issued or something like that. Watch for a warning to get issued, which is kind of gives you the idea that watch comes first and then the warning would potentially come later. So the ingredients are there. That is why there is a tornado watch in place. But yeah, at this point in time, I don't think there's any warnings in place. So there's no severe thunderstorm warning on the Deloraine storm right now. And so there's just the severe thunderstorm watch in the southwest where this storm is. There is a tornado watch to the east, again, for those areas we mentioned. And then, as Alana pointed out, there is a special weather statement in the southeast that talks about heavy rainfall is going to happen through the evening. So that is the summary of the particular alerts that are happening at this point in time. Let me just I really want to just keep an eye on this radar because I want to see if this thing starts to spin at some point in time. We want to make sure that we know when it starts to do that. Interesting. So let me take off this taco image because it's covering the whole screen. This is an interesting section of the storm right here. So if I zoom in, we should actually get some. This is north of Cranmer. North of Goodlands and going towards Leeton. Alana, would you say it's Leeton? Layton? Leeton.
I don't even see that on my screen. Layton.
Oh, on my screen. Sorry. Layton. Okay. Going towards Layton. This has an interesting kind of a hook shape to it now. And it's starting to get a little bit of rotation back here. It's at an interesting part of the storm. Normally, you would think maybe if this was a hook, then you'd have rotation kind of, feeding into this part of the storm. So it's kind of on the backside, but it is worth watching. Let's flip over to tilt 2 and look a little bit higher up in the storm. That'll give us a better idea. Yeah, so not much higher up in the storm. So far, not too much of a concern, but definitely starting to see hints that things are starting to spin a little bit in the atmosphere. So, I mean, it is co-located right with that storm. So that is definitely something to watch and heading towards Layton and maybe Medora as well too. So, and towards Deloraine. They say it again, right? Deloraine? I think so. Yeah.
Deloraine.
I'll just call it DeLorean. DeLorean? Is that the Back to the Future in me? Deloraine. Deloraine. That's right. Nicole says, how early can you start seeing rotation? That's a good question. Now, I think we're starting to see hints of it right now. You can often see rotation usually several radar frames before something was to produce, like a tornado, a funnel cloud or a tornado. Usually you get a few frames in advance of the storm starting to rotate before it puts anything down. There have been really rare cases, though, where storm goes from basically doing nothing rotation-wise, and what happens is we have 6-minute radar updates. We used to have 10-minute radar updates, but thankfully now with the new radars, we have 6-minute radar updates. So sometimes, 6 minutes later, the storm goes from doing pretty much nothing to boom, there's a big, strong rotation signature. And it's possible that within that 6-minute window, it put something down. So sometimes it's, sometimes I'm, scrambling to post like a rotation update because the next frame just exploded. But usually we get a few frames to watch before, something gets put down there. So let's see here. Some more questions. Anita says, is anything heading towards the Steinbach area? So Future Radar talks about storms heading out your way a little bit later on. I think we might be able to get another update here. Give me 1 second. Let me just make sure we have the latest data. I don't know if that has updated yet, but I can see. I'm going to flip back to our app. Again, if you don't have our free app, please go download it. It's called Instant Weather, and you can get it at instantweatherapp.com. If you do use our app, please let everybody know in the comments how you're liking it or not liking it. Either or. We're happy with candid feedback, so please let everybody know. And so this is the past and future radar. To clarify, this has 5 hours of future radar, which is what's available if you do the upgrade radar subscription within our app. The radar data that we're purchasing is astonishingly expensive, so unfortunately we're not able to include 5 hours of radar for the free version, but we do have that for the version where you remove ads and you upgrade the radar. So huge thank you to those who have done that, because you're the reason we're able to offer the app for free to everybody else. If it wasn't for the subscriptions, the numbers just don't work and the app would have to be closed down. So that would be brutal. So we don't want to do that. We want to keep the app going. So thank you so much. Let's see here. Cher says your image is covering Steinbach in this animation. Good point. Let me move that around. Hey, look at that. Where is it? There we go. Okay. So I think this still goes to 9:15. Oh no, this goes to 9:45. So we got another couple frames out of it here. So let's see what time Steinbach might be seeing a storm. The end of that animation looked like 9:45, and there still wasn't. Let me just actually manually slide it over here. It looked like there was still not storms. They're heading towards Winnipeg at that point in time for those who are in the Winnipeg area. So this is 9:45 on future radar. Again, this could slightly shift. It's hard to say for sure. But this is 9:45, and we have storms heading towards Winkler, heading towards Winnipeg, and eventually towards Steinbach. So probably maybe at 10:30 or so, you might see some storms if they keep moving in the direction that they're going there. So, yeah. Thank you for your question. Appreciate that, Anita. Ashley says, is Winnipeg going to get any bad storms? It's possible you're going to see severe storms. The later they show up, the less likely they are to be significantly severe. Yeah, so basically, once the sun goes down, we don't have that daytime heating, and we start to lose the energy available. But they could still be severe even to the evening, but they might be elevated. What that means is further off the surface, so they're not interacting with the surface as much. So that could be helpful, but we'll have to see how they do develop. Anita says, always at night, so we can't see it. LOL. Well, you can see the lightning a lot better at night, so there's that. But yeah, hard to see the actual storm. Thank you.
I'm just going to jump in real quick. I'm seeing a lot of comments that are asking, okay, what are the chances of tornadoes? Like, am I going to see a tornado here? Am I going to see a tornado there? What the tornado watch has been issued by Environment Canada is pretty much saying is that there are the ingredients there, but as mentioned earlier, we have a bit of a cap that's kind of blocking further development in the atmosphere. So if that cap were to actually break, then we'll get some of these more severe storms. But as of right now, it's holding in place. So that's why there's only a watch and not a warning, if that makes sense, if that helps some of the people in the comments.
I think it does. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Olga coming in with love the Instant Weather app. I've installed it on all the family's phones. They love it as well. Thank you so much, Olga. Appreciate that. Olga is on, I swear, every live stream we've ever done, Olga's there cheering us on. So thank you so much, Olga. You're awesome. She obviously, when she says my pronunciation has got better, she would know because she's been on all of them. So she would definitely know. She's awesome. Let's see here. Dylan says, what's the chances of a good light show in Winnipeg? If the storms arrive nice and late, then the chances are pretty good, I would say. I think so, for sure. Yeah, I think that you might see some interesting lightning with these storms as they track. There's already quite a bit of lightning on this one right now, so I'm going to jump back to raw radar and we'll see, and we'll try to take a deeper look into what we're seeing here on this storm near Deloraine. Alana's going to laugh at me, I'm sure. There we go. Let me just double check. Again, in the comments, please let us know where you're from. We want to see where everybody is joining us from. Pretty please. Let's see here. Yeah, that's still, I think, the same radar frame we had before. Oh, no, that's a new one. So the storm's still kind of holding an interesting shape. It's getting closer to Layton and Deloraine. Still got this like hint of a little bit of rotation. It actually weakened on that latest frame. So far, so good. Nothing too substantial. It was kind of noisy back there. And yeah, that's the current velocity, the current wind radar on that storm. So this is still the storm that we are watching here. And there could be some more development to the east. Let me just jump onto the US radars here and see what we're dealing with. Sometimes the US radars can give us a different perspective. That's interesting. So, the US radar is showing a bit more broad rotation than the Canadian radar was. I'm not sure which one is closer. Probably the Canadian radar. Liam, what do you think? Which one's closer?
I've been looking at the US
Maybe
radar
it
the
is.
entire time. I've been thinking.
Oh, actually US is closer.
Yeah.
That is closer.
Yep.
And it's showing an interesting little hint of broad rotation there. So maybe we should keep it pinned here on the US radar. Make sure we have the latest. So yeah, some interesting broad rotation developing on that storm. You can see a little bit more detail in the US radar as well too. So the Canadian radar is 500 meter bins, and the US radar is 250 meter bins. So by bins, I mean these tiny little, these things are the bins, basically, these tiny little sections. So with Canadian radar, it would be that big, but with the US radar, it is a little bit more detailed. And by that, I mean twice as detailed. So that's more than a little bit, but I mean, 500 meters is still quite useful. The old radar we had, I think, for the most part, I think there was 500 meter in the C bands, anyways. But I think most of the time when you looked at images, it was 1 kilometer. So kind of got a little bit blurry. But yeah, but this is a little bit better. So interesting. Maybe we should go up in tilt here. Let's go take a look at tilt number 2. Yeah, tilt number 2 is not really showing anything. So it's more of the lowest tilt that's giving us that hint of rotation. So I'll have to keep an eye on that storm. There's a little bit of purple as well too. So if you see a little bit of purple on radar, that means we might be starting to see some hail. And there's definitely a hail risk with these storms. If, like Alana said, if the cap erodes and these storms go to town, then there could be some pretty big hail on them as well too. I think the Environment Canada watch talked about 3 centimeter. I think it talked about 3 centimeter hail, but I might be wrong. It might actually be larger. Yeah. I know the original forecast said 3 centimeters, so I'm not sure if the watch did as well too, but it's possible.
The watch says loony size.
Oh, it says loony? Did it say toonie as well? I could have sworn the tornado watch said toonie. Okay, yeah, so that's getting even. Is that bigger? How big is a toonie?
Toonies are bigger than loonies.
Well, I get that part.
Okay, I thought you were asking which one's bigger.
No, I definitely know that a toonie is bigger than a loony, but
sorry.
I think I might be going loony is what's happening here. So it's all good. So yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that, and let's go back to the forecast map for those who haven't seen it yet. This is our forecast map. It is a little bit broad because we're trying to cover a general area of where the ingredients are. It's hard to really pinpoint exactly where the strongest storms will be. We don't really can't get really into bullseyeing storms. There have been times in the past where we've tried to bullseye, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But in this particular case, as you can see, pretty much the populated southern side of Manitoba. We're all laughing at Dylan's comment here. Dylan says, "Oh, you were putting it up the same time I did." Yeah. Dylan said, "Toonies are bigger than loonies." Made my night.
But nickels are bigger than dimes, so you just never know.
You never know. That's right. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a valid point. It's a very valid point. Amanda says, "Please do. The U.S. radar is pretty good, to be honest." Awesome. Jeremy says, "Just shared for my family in Manitoba." Thank you so much, Jeremy. I appreciate that. Thank you kindly. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to put that user in a timeout. Okay, let's see here. So, hold on a second here. Sandy says, from Winnipeg, Adam, you sang and played your guitar during a bad storm Winnipeg had a few years back. You have a great singing voice. Thank you so much, Sandy. I really appreciate it. I have a feeling I'm not going to sing today because if I sing, I'm going to start coughing hysterically, and that's going to be brutal. I mean, maybe I could cough on key. Side note, Liam is also quite an established and talented musician as well, too. So maybe Liam can break out some fiddle later. That would actually be pretty sweet. I don't know if you're up for it, if you've tuned it or not.
Possibly do that. Yeah, like I don't know how the mic will sound, but we'll see.
Well, it's a good mic. I think it'll be all right. I mean, it might not be EQ'd for fiddle timbre, but I think you'll be all right. You'll be okay.
Give it a shot later. Yeah,
that'd be cool. Bev says, "Hey there from," and then I'm gonna turn it over to Lana to pronounce this.
Ochre River.
Thank you, Ochre River. You don't even want to know what I was gonna pronounce. It was awful. There was like a re in there. Let's not talk about it. So, Facebook users from Morden, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Here is one of those locations that in the past I've had to be schooled on every single time we've live streamed. And then a lot of people just started telling me to call it LeBro. So I'm going to call it LeBro. Anita says, I'm in LeBro, Steinbach area, and my garden is still underwater. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Myrna is watching from Portage La Prairie. Thank you kindly. Let's see here. Angela is joining from Windsor Park area of Winnipeg. Cool. All right. We have a big wide swath of of different folks. Chantel says fiddle thunder music. So can you do Thunderstruck on the fiddle, Liam? This is a common question we're going to receive.
I have tried it. It doesn't sound that great compared to the guitar, but I can play it on bagpipes though. But I don't think I'll play the bagpipes.
You can play Thunderstruck on bagpipe. If you do
you
the thunder, everybody is gonna. You just gave it away. Now everybody's gonna want bagpipes on the live stream.
Oh, it's gonna be the microphone.
Yeah, that's a good point. It does have a lot of decibels there. So I mean, you could stand way back maybe. So I mean, it's still gonna be
stand in the backyard.
You could out in the backyard you'll be fine. So. Yeah. Dylan says, let's hear it, bud. He wants the fiddle. And then Judy says, now I want fiddle, please. Okay, and then JC says, Thunderstruck on bagpipes in full caps. So
I'll go grab it, and I'll have it ready for later then.
That would be cool. That's awesome. Sweet. Yeah, cool. Do it. So Brianna says, watching from Peterborough. Oh, cool. Watching from Peterborough, Ontario. Sorry about your storm there. Hopefully you didn't have any damage. That was quite the derecho that went through Ontario there. That was intense. Yeah, and our thoughts are with those who were affected and those who we lost. 11 fatalities on that storm. That's the deadliest storm since 1985, I think, in Ontario, since the 1985 tornado. So, and that day there was 12 fatalities. So 8 of those were in Barrie, and 4 of them were between Grand Valley and Newmarket, I believe. So. Only 1 less fatality. I mean, this storm went through the most populated part of Canada, right? So it went right through the GTA, through Kitchener, right through the GTA, all the way, and then through Ottawa as well. So, yeah, that was pretty rough, as Dylan says. Yeah, that was rough. That was a horrible day. Kelly says, I'm watching from Estevan in Saskatchewan. Thank you so much, Kelly. Appreciate that. Mandy says, fiddle, fiddle, fiddle. So this is turned into the instant fiddle stream, I believe, is what we're gonna have to start calling it. I mean, this is what a change. I mean, it's basically if it's me, you're gonna hear like some Beatles or something. But if Liam's here, then we might actually get some interesting stuff. So Brianna says lost power for 6 hours, not too bad where I am, but others in Ontario lost it for days. Yeah, I mean, some people are saying they still don't have power. There's parts of Ottawa that still don't have power. They said it was more catastrophic than the 1998 ice storm. So it's going to take years for them to rebuild the system. It's awful. So again, historic derecho, says Dylan. Yeah. Again, our thoughts are with those who had to deal with that. It was brutal. Linda says, I'm watching from Winnipeg. Thank you so much, Linda. Appreciate that. So again, if you, I'm pretty sure I posted the link to the severe thunderstorm forecast that you're looking at behind me. On our app as well too. So if you click the bar at the very top of the app, you should be able to see that link. And then actually I should be able to bring that up to show you how that works. So let me see if I can do that right now. So if I jump over to here, okay, cool. So I'm just going to go back to the main page here. So as you can see at the top of the app, I said that we're live. So it says Manitoba live stream first. And then if I click on it as well, you can see there's a severe thunderstorm forecast. So if you click on that, you can see some of the details. And then if you click on the link, it'll take you to our website. And that has the map and further details as well too. And Environment Canada's map as well too. So Environment Canada did forecast the potential for tornado development along with damaging wind gusts, large hail. I think they mentioned isolated flooding, but I'm not 100% sure. But that's always the case. I mean, when you have significant storms over populated areas with a lot of concrete, sometimes you can get flooding as well. So that's usually part of the story. And actually a lot of Manitoba, there's been so many times that I've streamed in Manitoba and we were watching for damaging wind gusts or watching for tornado potential. And then at the end of the event, it was like, I got flooded. Like flood ended up being the story of those events as well. So that can most certainly happen. I'm going to jump into radar here, make sure we have the latest frame. I want to see if anything is developing with that Deloraine storm.
Yeah, I'm seeing something a little bit northwest of Deloraine. I can't tell if it's noise on the radar, but I've checked it on both programs that I have, and I'm not sure if it's noise. You can take a look. It looks like a little bit of a.
It's an interesting position, and that's again why I like the swiping over, because you can kind of see. Because I think that's noise. Because I mean, if you look at the position of it, if you're talking about this little thing here, I mean, there, it's kind of a spike, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. We're getting readings of 87.84. Excuse me. But yeah, and then down to 34 too. So Yeah, I think that's probably noise, but it's interesting that storm. I mean, it's kind of coming together shape wise. It was kind of a cluster, and now it's starting to turn into maybe the storm. It might be like the one. Hold on, wait a minute. Just as I said that, what does this storm think it's doing? So nothing going on velocity wise with it right now, but it might hang on. So let's animate here. Something we got to add to this is a little bit of a delay at the end of the animation, which it doesn't currently do right now. It drives me nuts. But it would be nice to see a tiny little delay at the end of the animation and not jump back to the first frame. That drives me nuts. So we'll have to do that. So that storm, it's fighting. It's fighting the cap for sure. If you look at this little one down here,
went through there, died out. You can see that.
Yeah,
what this one does.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But this cluster over here is really, I mean, merging and coming together into one kind of clean cell. So that is interesting. I muted my mic before I coughed, so I just want to let everybody know that. I'm thinking of you. Thinking of your ears. I do have noise canceling, so that might help. Here, let's see how my noise canceling does. Was it reasonable? Let me know. Nobody on the team let me know, so that means it was bad. Okay, that's fine. Do you have to tune it up there, Liam? We're gonna get some fiddle.
I'm good to go if people want to hear some tunes. I mean,
let's maybe wait a little bit till we've got some storm filter right now.
Kind of happening right now. We could have a little fiddle break. All right, let's take a vote. Okay, if you want to have a quick little fiddle break from Liam, let us know.
I think Liam is regretting bringing it up.
I'm good. I just played a show last night, so it's all.
Oh, you're warm then. You're fine. So, yeah, you're way warmer than me. I'm only warm when I do like multiple streams in a row. That's why I always default to like Blackbird or something, because I'm like, it's just imprinted in my brain, so I don't forget it. But if I have to take requests, and it's gonna be a bit questionable. Judy says, "You guys make me laugh." Thank you. Thanks, Judy. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Sandra says, what are you expecting for Eli? Hail, tornado potential? That's a good question. We'll have to see how these storms track east. We'll have to see how they do when they come into contact with the strong capping. But if this thing can hold together near Layton, heading towards Deloraine, did I say it wrong again? I keep saying Deloraine. Help me. Deloraine. Okay. I'm awful. Okay, so if it holds up as it moves towards Deloraine and it keeps holding up as it tracks to the east, it's possible this storm will hold up and be a problem. And it's very possible that it could head towards the Eli area. Eli is very famous in Canadian tornado and the history of Canadian tornadoes as the only F5. Now, mind you, it's very possible that there have been other tornadoes of that strength that just went through a field and didn't hit anything. The Fujita scale is a damage scale only. So that's why you can have these, a big monster tornado that just goes through a field, doesn't hit anything, gets rated EF1 or EF0. And then you can have, something that doesn't look too intense, but it goes right through a city or right through a town, and it can be rated EF2, EF3, etc. So in this particular case, just a giant, slow-moving, very violent F5 tornado that went through Eli. I don't know if there was any fatalities from Eli. I have a feeling there wasn't, but maybe Alana, can you look that up? I have a feeling that there wasn't any fatalities from that one, but maybe there was.
That real quick.
Maybe there was one. I think maybe it's possible that there was one.
No injuries.
No, there was none.
Fatalities.
No injuries, no fatalities. That is incredible. So, yeah, that's actually pretty amazing. So, yeah. Anyways, so that's pretty interesting stuff. But thankfully, Canada's only F5 EF5. So the thing is, it's only an F5, and the reason it's not EF5 is because the enhanced Fujita scale only came into play in 2013 in Canada. So anything that happened before 2013 was based on the F scale, and then after 2013, that's when the enhanced Fujita scale came into play. So, yes. Mandy says this storm needs to move so you don't mispronounce DeLorean again. Did I do it again?
No, I think you're okay that time.
Was it? Is it Deloraine or DeLorean? No, it's Deloraine. That's right, Della. I gotta think like Della. I'm just gonna stop saying it from now on. That place with a D. Amanda has a good point. She says El Reno was rated EF3. Exactly. This is a 2.6 mile. I think it was 4.2 kilometer wide. Probably the strongest, largest tornado in all of recorded history. And because it didn't really hit any crazy strong structures for them to measure it during the peak intensity, it was only rated in EF3. So I think originally it was rated higher, but they actually went back and did and looked at the damage and brought it down to EF3. So, but that tornado was, I mean, rest in pieces, Twist X. You know, we lost some of the greatest storm chasers in all of history, Tim Samaras and his son. And yeah, I mean, it was awful. So that tornado was, when we saw that on radar, that tornado was just absolutely terrifying. It was pretty brutal. Judy says DeLorean. Does that help? Maybe. DeLorean. I keep thinking of DeLorean. I don't know why. I keep thinking of a time machine. I should stop. Okay, so Dylan has an interesting question about a particular myth. He says, what are your thoughts about tornado possibility in a city? There's a lot of conflict, and a lot of people say tornadoes don't come into cities. There's a lot of examples from the U.S. where tornadoes definitely went through cities. I mean, 2 tornadoes just hit city of London on last Saturday. Embedded within the derecho, there was 2 confirmed EF1 tornadoes that hit the city. So, and even large, violent, damaging tornadoes have been known to go through populated cities. So basically, you know, people talk about, oh, it can't go up and down a valley, or it can't go over water, or, you know, there's all these different theories. Basically, I don't think tornadoes really care what they're going over. If it's strong enough, it's just going to go where it wants, and whatever's underneath it is, you know, may have some minor effect on it, but you know, it can climb hills, it can go down valleys, it can go right through cities, it can go right across water. It really doesn't matter. If the storm is, I mean, you know, the supercell above it can be bigger than Mount Everest. So there's a lot of power there. And yeah, I don't think they like to be told where they can and cannot go. I think they're going to go wherever they want. So
yeah.
Sandy says, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Sandy on YouTube brought it up, but you already got it covered.
Oh, okay. She said, didn't Edmonton have a devastating tornado back in the 70s? I think it was actually 1986. I think it was the year after the 2 F4 tornadoes that went through Ontario. I'm pretty sure it was 86. Alana's going to double check. And she'll find
87.
So close.
Very close.
Yes. So that was an F4, I believe, that went through. That had a lot of fatalities too. I think it was 27 fatalities. Yes, that was 27. That was a very devastating tornado. Went through Edmonton. Yeah, we're talking about a lot of devastating tornadoes right now. We're actually trying to calm people down and be like, you know, we have to be prepared for these storms. But you know, the actual chance of something significant happen is always low, but it's never zero. So that's why we watch carefully to make sure what's happening here. So, Liam, have you been tracking radar here?
Yeah, by any chance? I don't really see anything popping out. I mean, it's just, again,
velocity-wise,
no, trending just to the north and the east.
Yeah.
Take a look at the Fox Warren radar station to the about northwest of Deloraine, between Deloraine and Medora. Mm-hmm. Interesting signature there. I don't think it's much, but it's just.
Ooh, yeah, it's stepping up.
Yeah, it doesn't really show much on the second, like on tilt 2. It's on the backside of that storm from the looks of it.
The only thing that concerns me sometimes is that it's only one bin. It's only one pixel that shows 115.92 kilometers an hour. But like the one beside it drops down to 36. So that's the only thing that bugs me, but there are some strong values around it. So it probably is noise. And let's see, it's right in the center of that storm.
It's pretty high up too. It's probably 8,000 feet in the air, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably from
that's true. Yeah.
Site, so.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it's quite a distance. So that would be quite high up. Yeah. And if we go to tilt 2, It's probably weaker. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not being supported higher up, but we actually don't really know so much. I mean, that is kind of higher up. And then the US radar kind of shows us what's happening more towards the surface, right? So let's take a look at, no, that's not going to give us a good idea. That's way back. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, US radar is the best look at it right now for sure. And yeah, so it's, this is interesting right here. Right here. It's interesting, especially position wise. Starting to get going. It's still nothing to worry about at this point in time. And I still don't think there's a severe thunderstorm warning on it. No, not yet. But this storm might kind of come together and be strong enough to continue east into the favorable environment. So that is basically the concern. If this thing hangs on strong, then it's quite could be quite concerning as it moves to the east. So we'll have to just watch that carefully. And you know what I think could really help us all while we're watching the storm is some fiddle.
I have it with me here.
Well, what are you gonna play us though? Like, okay, we need. Is there like fiddle requests? I mean, you're a professional musician. You play a lot of gigs, so chances are somebody's gonna have a fiddle request that you're gonna be able to nail. I don't know why we haven't had you on every stream playing fiddle. I just realized that how important that is from now on. I mean, it's clearly off topic, but everybody loves it. So we'll have to see. Let's watch these comments as they come in.
I think most times it's because I'm out in the field, right? So
yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Brianna says, when you say it's noise, what does that mean? Oh, sorry. Noise is like radar noise. So it looks like it's something worse, but it's in a strange spot, and it's probably just radar noise. It could be RF noise. It could be velocity folding. It could be a second trip echo. There's a lot of things that it could be. So, but in this particular case, we think that's noise. Although, you know, like Alana pointed out, velocity is kind of strengthening there, and then there's this strong point in it. So we'll have to see what that wants to do. That's interesting. Kimberly says Devil went down to Georgia. He probably does know that.
Yeah, I do. I mean,
you're like, what part of it? Is there like a solo or?
Yeah,
we're just gonna sit here and throw requests. In fact, we're gonna have to just shut down the weather stream and just have the Liam stream from now on, and he's just gonna play fiddle songs all night long. And no, I'm just kidding. Oh, look at that! Sandy had the same request right after. So, is there like a classic? Is there a classic fiddle hook for that song?
Or yeah, there's like the intro piece, right? Like I don't know how loud this is gonna be, so you might want to
bring your preamp down substantially.
I'll just do that in the settings here.
And that's probably a good idea.
Okay, I'll keep one earbud in so you can yell at me if it's too loud.
Okay, I'll yell at you if it's that's perfect.
Okay.
It's pretty loud. It actually got as you went to it, it got a little bit crispy at the very top. So yeah, you might want to drop your preamp down to. Alana's like, what am I going to play, tambourine or?
No, I'm watching radar.
Oh, okay, radar's good. Yeah, that's important. Yes,
that storm down near Cartwright that's crossing the border is still hanging on for now.
Is it? It didn't die in the same spot?
No,
it's not
still
amazing.
hanging on.
I don't know if I have the latest frame here. Let me see. Oh yeah, it's hanging on. It kind of strengthened a little bit, eh? It's got an interesting shape to it too. Yeah, what's going on with this one? It's got like a foot. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like this latent storm, I'm not saying the other name. I feel like this latent storm is going to be the one, you know, and if it merges, it could merge with that storm eventually, but it keeps hanging on. It's got quite a bit of lightning. Yeah, it's hanging on for sure. So Jody says, I second the devil went down to Georgia. All right. Give us a clip. Give us a little, let's hear it. Go for it. Yeah, you're definitely a seasoned musician, so that was pretty good. That was amazing. That was brilliant. Yay. Way to go. Dude, you rock, man. Holy. We got ourselves a pro. Liam's a pro, except for his green screen skills, but besides that, he's a pro.
It's a little tilted.
Yeah, his chair green screen there. Everybody's loving it. Look at this. Hearts. Dang right. Nice, says Sandy. Yeah. Liam plays a lot of shows, so clearly he's amazing. Yeah, that does help. It helps when you're like consistent. When I used to sing like 5 days a week, you know, almost every single night. Yeah, that did help a lot too. My pitch was a lot better. Now I'm fighting with it every time I try to sing, but it's fine. It works. That's cool. All right, so let's hear more, says Dylan. Oh, he wants more. Everybody wants more, so you might have to. Maybe we should take small breaks in between, but obviously you're brilliant, so we're gonna want a lot of that. Everybody's gonna want that. You're gonna have to join us for every live stream from now on, Lean. I'm sorry.
When I'm not out chasing, I'll do it. Yeah.
Even if you're out in the field, we're gonna have to. You have a driver, so you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, true.
I don't know what the acoustics are inside the car, but you know, these things happen. It's all good. Yeah, so just watching these two storms. What's going on here? Have you been watching Fox Warren there by any chance, Elena?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention for a second there. My cat's meowing.
It's all good. Oh, yes, well, it happens. Yeah, Fox Warren is not really doing much.
Yeah, that one little bit that we saw before, it's
kind of vanished, right? So
yeah,
it probably was noise, and there's a lot of noise there's definitely a lot of noise in here. You can see like, and this is again, I love being able to do this swipe over because you can see exactly where it's positioned, and it's not like the storm is here, and the strongest values are over this place I can't pronounce, and so you can see. So you would think like if this was right at a hook, then I would be concerned because that definitely looks like rotation, the red versus the green, the bright red versus the bright green. But as you swipe over, it vanishes. So I think it's basically, so far it's noise. So far it's not a concern. And again, that's probably why there is no severe thunderstorm warning on that storm yet. But that storm near the border though, that storm near the border is interesting, and it keeps hanging on. So let's go take a look at that again.
Now, with the shape of that storm and where those values are, I'd be wondering if that might be some inflow into the storm.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, because you got a little bit of a notch there.
Like if you're standing there, you get like that warm air rushing into the inflow, right? So yeah, that could be some strong inflow feeding into that storm. So this has an interesting shape down here. This Cartwright storm, Smith Hill. It's got a kind of a classic shape to it, and it's moving into an interesting area. So let me make sure I have the latest radar data here on the app. Again, if you don't have our free app, please go download it. It's called Instant Weather. Free. My favorite price. People are still telling me how to pronounce the place that the place which we shall not mention. It's become Voldemort for me. So
I see that there's you got two people on Spotter Network on this one by Cartwright, that storm. So
there's two spotters on it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Keen is on it, and looks like there's someone else on it as well too. Yeah, I'm watching Twitter for reports here. Yeah, they are. Base is starting to lower a bit, they said, on that storm. So we might want to bring up that report pretty soon. So yeah, it's good to know we have spotters on that. So even if we see something strong on radar, it's nice to have spotters on the ground to be like, no, this is actually what's happening in real time. Because I mean, radar is usually scanning at 1,000 feet or higher above the surface. So there's a lot of, what if below what we see on the radar data there. So let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to block that user. Okay, so hold on. Cheryl says, this is why I love our Canadian neighbors. What else can one get? Weather reports with music accompaniment. That's awesome. Cheryl, let us know where you are. Are you just south of the border there? Please let us know where you're located for sure. So let's see here. Dylan says small curve down south on that radar. Yeah, strong hook starting, said Dylan. So yeah, let me make sure I've got the latest data. I just got to do a manual reload here, and we'll make sure we have the latest. Yes. Oh, you know what? And this is interesting as well too. Let's see what's happening here. Velocity's kind of coming together on storm placement here. You're right, Alana. There's probably some inflow happening there for sure, and it's starting to get a little bit of a little hook there. And then there's a little bit of hook on this storm as well too here, this Cartwright storm, where the base was lowering. Those two storms are really interesting. And the fact that these are so isolated is also potentially not a great thing if you don't want them to produce anything. Because the more isolated they are, the more of the environment they can kind of use for themselves. So if you have a big cluster of storms that are kind of merging into each other and feeding off each other, it's harder for them to produce a tornado. But when you have isolated supercells, that can be a problem because, again, they have the entire environment to work with here. And again, tornado watch in place from Environment Canada and 2 isolated developing supercells moving into that area. One is specifically in the tornado watch right now. That Cartwright storm is moving into the tornado watch. The Leighton storm, I'm going with Leighton. The Leighton storm is currently in the severe thunderstorm watch, but it is not in the tornado watch region yet. So yes, conditions are so ripe for these. Yeah, Dylan says absolutely for sure. Oh, Cheryl says working in South Dakota, love watching weather no matter where it is. Awesome, ditto. Thanks so much for joining us, appreciate it. So M says just wait till you hear Liam play the bagpipes. He can play the bagpipes. It's all in the same key, but he can play it. I mean, he can rock it. So
I'm noticing now.
Is it G? Sorry, I'm getting musical topics here. Go on. Let's actually talk about the weather then.
One of the chasers you mentioned that's down on the Cartwright storm is saying that the cloud bases are starting to lower as that storm intensifies. So it's definitely worth watching that one as well.
Yeah, Keen is saying that, right? Is that how you pronounce his name? Keane? Keen Kowalski?
I believe so.
Kanye? No, it's Keen. Kowalski. Yeah, absolutely. See, you can even help me pronounce names better. Atlanta is so important. She helps me pronounce everything. I can't even speak to other humans without her correcting my pronunciation. So it's awesome. I appreciate it.
You make me sound like a terrible person.
No, it's good. It's actually amazing. So no, I know it sounded bad, but no, it's actually amazing. I prefer that you correct me on these because I'm brutal at it. So Brianna says, when looking at the forecast map, what does severe outbreak mean? And have you ever had to post it? Oh, okay. That's interesting. So let's go back to it. So severe outbreak possible. It's just if it's the absolute perfect brutal conditions. So that would be, excuse me, a really, really, really strong low pressure with perfect timing to take advantage of daytime heating with what they call a loaded gun setup. So a strong cap that's expected to erode, and storms are just going to explode, kind of like taking the lid off of a boiling hot pot of water. It's just everything's building up, and then you pull off the lid, and it just explodes. We are kind of dealing with a bit of a kind of a loaded situation here, where if that cap pops, these storms they're going to go up strong, and they're going to go up really, really fast. So those situations can be into severe outbreak. We usually I think maybe once or twice we've gone to level 5 where we said severe outbreak possible. Usually if conditions are maxed out, we go to significant severe weather risk. But the reasons we've gone to outbreak possible are because it's so widespread and significant. With the derecho that just happened in Ontario, we actually models were not really hinting at that. We went it was kind of looked like this map where we went orange. We said severe risk, but if in retrospect, if we knew there was going to be a long-lived derecho that went through the most populated locations in Canada and caused 11 fatalities, we would definitely have gone purple. We've definitely gone 5 out of 5. But just in that case, basically, no models really showed that was going to be the case. And then as it was happening, they showed it, but everybody's watching radar by that point, so it didn't really help. So, but yeah, it's pretty intense for sure. Dylan says, I'd love to meet you at some point. I'm a huge weather fan, especially Manitoba. Awesome, Dylan. I'm sure at some point in time, we might do some meetup events or something like that. So definitely we'd love to meet you for sure. Awesome. Appreciate it. Chase says, good job. Keep up the good work. Thanks so much, Chase. Appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Let's see here. Frank is watching from Pennsylvania. That's cool. Northwest Pennsylvania. Sweet. 37th anniversary of the big tornado outbreak that hit Ohio. Yeah, that was back in 1985. Yeah, so that was that would have been the 31st. So that was in 2 days. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was a really, really intense day for Ohio. Hit Southern Ontario as well too. Yeah, that was intense for sure. Ohio got brutal tornadoes that day. That was awful. And yeah, that was May 31st, 1985. That's right. Yes. So let's just do a bit of scrolling here. Yeah, we still have to hear Liam play the bagpipes, but I think he said his mic is gonna explode if he uses them inside, so that would be bad. Michael says the sun is shining in Winnipeg, which is really interesting, and we talk about this a lot as well too. When you have daytime heating, there's so many times when there's severe thunderstorm risk that people say, nothing's gonna happen here, it's sunny out. Sunny is the last thing that you want to happen before severe thunderstorms occur, because with sunshine, you get all this surface heating, you get all this buildup of heat that is basically fuel for the storms. So if it's cloudy, that can help mitigate some of the severe risks. So that can actually be beneficial if you don't want severe weather to happen. But when you have sunshine before big storms move in, that could be a problem. So let me just load up the latest radar frame here, and let's see what we're dealing with. 1 second here. So let me just pull that up right now. I'm taking a look at Foxwarn right now, and we're starting to see some interesting signatures on the latent storm. Still hanging strong, and it's definitely picking up steam. Let me flip over to US radar here. Interesting. Yeah, now it's starting to cook. Okay. Yeah, we're starting to see some minor rotation, actually, east of Layton. This is where Atlanta comes in and says the other name. East of Layton, just north of the Lorraine. I think I got it. I think I nailed it. Yeah, Atlanta's muted, but she doesn't realize it, but that's okay. But just...
Sorry, I was talking to my husband, and I guess I forgot to turn it back on.
It's okay. It's fine. It happens all the time. It's just like Zoom calls. Yeah, it's starting to see some minor rotation there. So I have a feeling it's not long until Environment Canada maybe puts out a severe thunderstorm warning on that storm. But that storm is starting to have some minor rotation right there. And the positioning of the minor rotation is now actually in the right spot. So you see this southern tail, the southern appendage on the storm, kind of a little bit of a hook. And that rotation is starting to develop right in that exact spot. The storm, I feel like it's moving pretty slow. It might be moving pretty slow. Let's go take a look at this storm south of Cartwright. And I'm not seeing much in the way of rotation on it, but it's definitely, it's definitely picking up steam. The cap is not crushing this storm. It's still going. So, yeah, looks like spotters are on that one. I don't know if there's any spotters on the Deloraine storm, but it's possible that they're out there. Did you see any spotter network tags by the Deloraine storm there, Liam, or no?
I do not right now. No.
No, there's no one on that.
Nope.
If it keeps going like that, I have a feeling that some people might make a decision to leave that southern storm. But I don't know. That southern storm looks pretty good as well.
You got a couple spotters.
These two storms
that might head down for it.
I think if there's just the one tag up there, that's probably Justin from Manitoba Weather Center. He probably just has the spotter tag on, but he's staying at home in Brandon. But who knows? Maybe he might head out. But yeah, that starting to see a little bit of minor rotation on that Deloraine storm. So let me see here. Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate that. So I'm just gonna mute my mic and cough my face. And we're back. Let's see here. Sun is out, Winnipeg North, warm and muggy, says Chantel. Yeah, that's the conditions that you don't want before big storms come in. We had a question from Octavio Zarco on YouTube. Cool name. What app are you using? Actually, this is something that we've built. This is our own app. We're going to call this Instant Weather Pro. It's going to be available likely later this spring, or spring is over in like 2 days. It's going to be available, I think, this summer is when we're going to do a first beta test. And we've been working on it for quite a while. We've been developing it in collaboration with the Northern Tornadoes Project and Dr. David Sills there. They're excited to use it out in the field for not only the Northern Tornado Project, but they've also launched the Northern Hail Project, and they'll be using it to track hail across Canada as well too. So it's been really exciting working with them on this, and yeah, it's just we're excited to get this out into folks' hands so they can. Again, this is my favorite thing ever. Like, I know it's nice to have the side by side with the different products, but I just love being able to swipe and know exactly where that's happening. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty sweet. This cold's brutal. Try my best.
This new radar frame, I don't know if you go frame by frame and go back one. It looks like the storm is starting to try and fall apart. I don't know if it's being affected by the cap there. But if you go back one frame.
You mean the Cartwright storm?
No, sorry, the one that's north of Deloraine.
Oh, okay.
It looks like it's like.
How did you say it so well? How did you say it so perfectly? Deloraine. I was just taking a look at Fox Warren there, but let me see. I see. So if I go back and take a look at this, trying to fall apart maybe a little bit. Oh, it's interesting.
Kind of spreads out.
It's definitely changed shape. That's right. Definitely changed shape. So Octavio says, also, I'm tuning in from Dallas, Texas. Thanks for saying my name. It's cool. No problem. Yeah, and we'll definitely have this available in the US as well too. So hopefully you get a chance to use it and hopefully you like it. But something cool you can do with it is this. Let's tilt. Yay. Tilting's fun. So let me see here. Yeah, it's got a really interesting structure to it. It kind of has the whole time. It's never been kind of this perfect supercell. It's been this kind of morphine, really, really interesting structure to it. So I don't know if it's dying out, but it's definitely changing shape. It doesn't have that perfect shape anymore, but the Cartwright storm does. Let me just center that a little bit, and we'll go take a look at this. This is starting to actually develop a hook, and it's starting to develop some really weak broad rotation. So this is probably the storm that is the important one to watch here, but we're going to keep an eye on both of them. I mean, really, we're only watching two storms, and they're moving pretty slow. So, we have it's kind of nice for a change as opposed to watching really, really fast moving storms that are changing on every frame and there's rotation all over the place. It's nice to just be able to quietly, carefully watch these two. So yeah, that's cool. Excuse me. So let's see here. Miranda on our team is laughing at Liam, hoping that he plays the bagpipes in the live stream. No, his mic will explode, so that's not going to happen. But the fiddle was amazing. Oh, Keen just.
I was just going to show that. I was just going to show that on my screen here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Let me bring you up here. Hold on. Let's do this, and I will actually let me bring you to the main, and I'll make you full screen. There we go. So this is how do you pronounce his name again? Alana probably knows.
Kukulski, I believe.
Kukulski?
Kukulski.
Saying that getting a little more organized southwest of Cartwright. Yeah, it's a little bit of a lowering there, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe starting to develop into a wall cloud. Amanda had a good question. She says, HP storm for the Lorraine storm? I mean, there's definitely a lot of precipitation to it. And there is a lot of precipitation around it. So yeah, it kind of is maybe developing into an HP supercell. Whereas as you can see how clear it is, where this report is coming from, it looks like this is an LP, so a low precipitation supercell. So that's really, really interesting. Oh, there was a question earlier. Sorry, Norvin, I didn't see your question. So let me scroll up and try to find it here. Give me just a moment. I'll see if I can find your question. It may have gone away, but I'll see. Oh. Okay. Oh, he's asking where our headquarters are. So our headquarters are actually in Ontario. But yeah, we cover weather across the country, and we also cover weather across the U.S. as well too. I think we have 100 and maybe about 130 social media pages at this point in time. We have a lot of social media pages. It's a lot. So yeah, we try to cover weather across Canada and across the U.S. as well too. And then at some point in time, we'll probably expand to Australia because they get some pretty wild supercells down there as well. So that'll definitely be interesting. But yeah, so these are the two storms in question. We're still watching them carefully, and and just make sure I have the latest radar data. So yeah, that Deloraine storm is definitely looking strange, but the Cartwright one is, now we're starting to get some rotation out of here. Actually, a little bit of rotation on both, but the Cartwright storm is kind of really coming together. I think it's time to switch radar here, though. I think probably we're going to see it leave. That's interesting. I don't know what velocity is doing there. That's interesting. Oh, it might have that. Oh, you know what it is? It's the, we just have it cut out of velocity, but it's you would normally see like purple or where the noise filtering is. So there's actually noise filtering going on there. Let me just double check. I think that's what's happening.
That's exactly what's happening.
That's exactly what's happening. Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. Cool.
Now take a look at north of Deloraine on Fox Warren. It's looking a bit interesting.
Fox Warren. Okay, let me just take a look here.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too.
Yeah, that Cartwright storm though, it's really it's cooking. North of Deloraine. Let's see here. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's starting to go. It's been kind of hints of rotation on that storm for a while. So yeah, that's the whole environment here. And these storms are nice and separated, so they got a lot of room to work with here. So yeah, that's interesting. Let's see if we're getting anything. You kind of actually seen a little bit of minor rotation, even from the Fox Warren station here. So let's go back to, let's see here. Minot, is that how you pronounce it? M-I-N-O-T, Minot? The Minot station. And definitely rotation on that storm. And that is southwest of Cartwright, south of Smith Hill, southeast of Lena. And I think you can hear how stuffed up I am right now when I said Lena. I'm like Lena. But I've got the Advil cold and sinus, so not that we're not sponsored by them or anything, but they're fantastic. So they're saving my life right now, so that's good. But yeah, so south of Smith Hill, southwest of Cartwright, that storm is starting to hook, starting to have a lowering base based on spotter reports, and yeah, that might be the storm. That might be the storm that really gets going here. So we're gonna have to watch that closely. Yeah, I think it's probably time for another fiddle break, Liam, if you're up for it.
Sure.
Just throw them into the fiddle pit.
Yeah.
My not. There's like 100 comments that say my not. So sorry, it's my not. My not. If you don't mind dropping your volume down there and giving us a little fiddle break, whatever you're comfortable with. Something extremely intricate and difficult to do. We want to you got to do the triple backflip off the diving board here, and then we'll rate you out of 10.
Okay, I'll do.
No pressure.
Okay.
All right, give it a shot. Our own Liam is gonna rock it up. Oh my goodness, dude! Is there like 30-second notes in there, dude? There's some crazy, notation.
That's a fun one. The crowd gets to clapping on that one, and I just I let it go, and it runs away from me sometimes. But
yeah, well, I mean, you're doing 30 seconds. You're almost doing. There's not 64s in there. No, there could be like dot. Is there dotted 30 seconds?
I have to admit that I am horrible at reading music, even though I went to college for music. I wouldn't know.
It doesn't matter.
I learned a lot of that by ear, so.
Wow, you learned that by ear? Did you slow down YouTube videos to 0.25 to get that done?
Yeah, and I had the advantage of I learned it when I was really young too, so it was in my head for the longest time. I think I've been playing that.
It was just right in your DNA. Oh, that's
16
awesome,
years.
Dude.
So,
holy man, that was awesome. That was great.
I'm just going to jump in for a second. We now have a severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued.
It's happened.
Yeah. So that's going to be, where are we looking here? We're looking at, I believe, the Deloraine storm.
Oh, Deloraine storm.
Yeah, it's the Deloraine storm. Yes.
That makes sense. It's cooking pretty good. And velocity's starting to pick up on it as well too from Fox Warren there for sure. And the Minot, let's see what Minot's doing to it. I think we have the latest frame. Let me double check. I wonder what's the scan strategy right now on Minot? Is it 2 minutes or is it 5?
I'm not too sure.
I think it's 5. It'd be nice if it was 2.
Yeah, I would imagine
we go. 5. Yeah, it's 23, 17, 11. Yeah, it's 5 right now. It'd be nice if they dropped it 2. They can change the strategy, which is really sweet. It'd be awesome if we did that in Canada, but we're sticking with 6-minute intervals. I'll take 6 over 10 though, any day.
Absolutely.
6 is so much better than the old 10 for sure. But yeah, that's the severe thunderstorm warning for the Delorane storm. I messed it up again, didn't I? Leighton, what else is involved in it? Let's see here. Do you want to maybe read out the locations there, Alana? Can you want to pull that up on our page? And
give me just 1 second to do that.
Sure, no problem.
On my background here.
Let's just while you do that, Sandy said that was sweet. Kimberly gave some claps. This is for Liam's shredding on the fiddle, the fiddle shredder. Have you play any guitar at all, Liam, or no?
I do. It's not my main instrument, but I'll swap it out with our singer. Sometimes I'll take the guitar and he'll just sing. So
nice.
It's fun. I like to switch it up sometimes.
I was going to say it's probably a good idea because if you can, I mean, it's in theory, other than, moving the bow this way or that way to hit whatever string, in your case, I don't know if your camera's flipped over. Are you southpaw? No, you're a righty.
I'm a righty.
So your left hand's doing all the work. Okay, yeah. So yep. I mean, your left hand's doing all the work in guitar, same thing, right? So yeah, exactly. Maybe not at that speed. I don't know if you're shredding. You could be a metal guitarist actually at that speed. That's pretty impressive.
I am not. No, I'm not that good.
Oh, Alana's got the warning up here. Perfect. Thank you so much, Alana.
Yeah. So there's the public on that Environment Canada's issued. Mm-hmm. So you can see we got Delorane, Medora, Wascata, up to Fairfax, Minto, Hartney, and scrolling a bit further down, talking about thunderstorms capable of producing quarter-size hail, wind gusts up to and in excess of 90 kilometers per hour. So anyone who is in the path of this storm should definitely be keeping an eye on it and take shelter if necessary.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Cool. So, we got our first severe thunderstorm warning of the day. Take a look at, it's starting to rotate a bit. I don't think, it kind of looked like it was splitting up, but I think it's kind of not now. I think it's kind of cooking. It looks like it's coming together actually pretty good. I'm going to pull up radar here. Give me a second. Let me just make sure I have the latest frame. And if you look from Fox Warren, it's got a really interesting shape now from Minot.
Yeah.
Let me just jump back to that. Here we go. So it's got an interesting shape for sure from Minot. Don't see as strong of a rotation pattern from Minot, but when I checked out Fox Warren here, which is a little bit further away, which is probably looking a little bit higher up in the storm, you're starting to see some developing rotation there. So she's starting to go. That one's starting to go for sure. And then obviously we have this one down here, which I don't think is probably too far behind from Environment Canada. I don't think it's too long until maybe they issue something in this storm, unless it fights with the cap and it starts to die out. But it seems like it's still going here. Maybe it looks like a little bit weaker than it once was. Have we seen any reports from any spotters? I don't think so.
I haven't gotten anything since the last one from Keene.
That last from Keene. Yeah, I haven't seen it either. So, okay. So that's the Smith Hill storm. Still no severe thunderstorm warning on that one. It is located inside of the tornado watch, but there is no severe thunderstorm warning on the Cartwright Smith Hill storm. Home field as well, too. So we'll have to watch that cell. We'll see what it does. But that Delorane storm is still going strong, and now severe thunderstorm warning from Environment Canada on it as well. So let me make sure I have the latest past and future radar here. I think many folks are asking about Winnipeg, and I think the forecast on our app actually did mention that severe thunderstorms were possible later tonight in the Winnipeg area. So, if the environment continues to be really strong, it is possible that we could see some severe thunderstorms in that area, but we'll see. So let me just get these two storms on radar, future radar, and on our app, Instant Weather. If you don't have it yet, again, download it for free at instantweatherapp.com. And I will just jump over to that. Here are your two storms, and let's hit play and see where they're going. So Future Radar is trying to take them to the northeast, which is really interesting, all the way up to Brandon. That's a big change. So that the Future Radar just updated and is trying to pull those two storms to the north. I mean, they're kind of moving northeast, although barely. They're moving very slowly northeast. So Future Radar might be out to lunch on that one, but more storm development later coming in from the extreme southeast as well too. So that's really interesting. So we'll have to watch that carefully. Interesting. Yeah, but that's a big change because Future Radar was actually pulling those storms, due east. They're kind of still going due east. So it's possible that, again, Future Radar's out to lunch here, but we'll see. We'll see what it does. We will see. So that is past and future radar there. We're just continuing to watch very, very carefully with those two developing supercells. The one that is under a severe thunderstorm warning from the Canadian radar is showing some hints of rotation. From the U.S. radar, it looks a little bit weaker. But again, severe thunderstorm warning from Environment Canada. It's a storm we have to watch carefully. So that's what we're doing. And then, if these storms do nothing, we're just going to have 2 or 3 or 7 hours of Liam playing fiddle. And that will be great. Yeah. And I don't know if I should promise that without asking him first. That might be a good idea for me to converse with him and find out if he's available for a 7-hour live stream fiddle session, if his hand won't fall off at that point in time. What's the longest show you've ever played, Liam?
Well, St. Patrick's Day, probably the one right before COVID, I played from 10 a.m. and not consistently, but 10 a.m. until 2 a.m. So,
yeah. How many shows was that? Did you do like 3?
Was that 3
four shows?
4 or 5. I think it was 4 different pubs. So it was tear down. We had about
4 different pubs.
Yeah, so we had to get to the next pub in 15 minutes and set up and start again. So
that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. It's awesome. Holy, yeah. Tearing down and setting up that fast is brutal. I've been there. It's fun. It's fun for sure. And one of those like 3 45-minute sets, and then you get like 2 encore sessions or something like that, or was it pretty strict as far as timing because you had to get out of there and get to the next pub?
One of the places in the afternoon, like the afternoon and the evening one, we went over a little bit because the crowd was a little bit more into the drinks by then, so they were enjoying it a lot. So it was good.
Perfect. Excuse me. Tulls says, does he play the violin at all? I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same instrument. It's just a different style of playing. And I mean, actually, I'm trained in jazz violin through college, so that's what my college diploma's in. So.
Interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought a fiddle is really just a violin, but I see it's just the style of playing. Yeah, for sure. That's cool. Norvin had a good question. Said, are standards and forecasting the same in Canada as here in the US? In theory, they're very close. In practice, they can vary, but in the idea is that it is pretty much the same idea. It's pretty close. Severe thunderstorm watches to severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado watches to tornado warnings. It doesn't always fall into place that way. Sometimes you have a severe thunderstorm watch and then boom, there's tornado warnings. But I mean, that happens in the US as well too. So it's all circumstantial for sure. But I mean, the idea is close. One thing that's different here in Canada is we still have county-based warnings. In the prairies, it's good because the county-based warnings are actually pretty small. But in certain parts of the country, especially lower populated areas, the county, it's literally a giant county is the warning area. So something Environment Canada is working on, and I actually thankfully was able to have a private Zoom call with some of the team that is developing it. They're actually working on polygons from the US. They have storm-based warnings, and which means they literally highlight the storm and they kind of make the polygon go a little bit bigger towards where it's heading. And so that's really exciting. Oh, Alana, were you bringing up a report there? Oh, sorry, your mic is muted, by the way.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was looking at something there from Keen, who's on that storm. Just thing of a wall. Sorry.
A little bit of a wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just west there.
Okay. Yeah, a little bit of a wall cloud developing there. That's interesting. Yeah. And that's on the Cartwright one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it kind of looked like maybe it was weakening a bit, but kind of coming back together. And I think this is the latest frame from Minot, the Minot radar. And let me just bring it up here on the screen. And 1 second. There we go. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like still some broad, weak rotation attempting to occur with that storm. Nothing screaming significant, but the structure of the storm is kind of coming together now. It was getting a little bit messy with a couple of different sections, but it seems like maybe it's wrapping up a little bit stronger now as well too. So this is going to be interesting as it develops over the next little bit as well too. Pim on YouTube says, "Thank you for the stream. You're very welcome. Thanks so much. Appreciate it." Thanks to all those who are sending in stars on Facebook and those who are sending super chats on YouTube. We sincerely appreciate it. It really does help. Let's see here. Just looking through some of the comments. Sandy says, "Wow, that's a long time to play fiddle, Liam. We appreciate whatever you play for us." I might have to play some guitar just to combat Liam taking my thunder here. That was a weather pun, but I mean, no, it's fine, dude. You're brilliant. Like you definitely can shred a little faster than I can for sure. I mean, if I really practice something, I can go pretty quick. But that, yeah, you were moving there. Like dotted 30 seconds are crazy. Let's see here. I don't even know what that means. I just know that's fast. Dotted 30 seconds. Let's see here. Bev says, hold on. Mark had a comment, but where did it go? I don't see it. Bev said, I believe you're right because it's happening now, LOL. But I didn't see Mark's comment. I don't know where that went. It seems to not be in my comment feed here, which is strange. That's odd. Oh, Eric brought up the scan strategy for the US, which is 4 to 5 minutes, the 212 VCP. Thank you. Appreciate that, Eric. Thank you kindly. That is the scan strategy. So we're still in 5-minute scan strategies right now from the US, which will take 5 minutes is fine. Still better than 6 minutes. But it'd be nice if they switched over to 2-minute scans because then we quickly get, oh, it looks like a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. That's probably, yeah, it looks like it is. That's going to be the, that's going to be the Cartwright storm. Yeah, the Cartwright storm. So both of these storms are now under a severe thunderstorm warning from Environment Canada. Yeah, I figured it was only a matter of time until that occurred. But yeah, those two storms are definitely under a severe thunderstorm warning from Environment Canada. Yes, so we're going to have to watch those carefully and closely. Let's see here. Let me just jump back to, I'll let that load for 1 second. I don't think we're going to get any good radar returns from down south here. No. Okay, so let me jump back to the Minot station, and that's in North Dakota, and that's the closest radar we have to these. Starting to get a little bit more rotation maybe on this Whitewater. We're going to call it the Whitewater storm now, so I don't have to pronounce the name. I don't... Deloraine. No, Deloraine. Yeah, that's right. The Deloraine storm that is now considered the Whitewater storm, we will call it at this point in time. Whitewater Lake, it's heading towards. Regent, how would you pronounce that, Lana? Regent? Ah, I see. If only they would put 2 E's in there for me. The Regent storm, the Whitewater storm, heading towards Kroll. That storm is definitely picking up some steam. This down here looks like noise, but this up here is still some broad, weak developing rotation. Nothing screaming anything too intense at this point in time, but it's definitely developing, and we're watching it closely. So, yes, here. That is definitely bannable, but I can't. Oh, for some reason I can't ban Twitch here. I don't know why. That's brutal. Okay, give me a second. I will take care of that. But yeah, we did have a new severe thunderstorm warning issued from Environment Canada on that storm that is located near Cartwright. and I'll just actually highlight that on the stream here. This storm right here is the one we're talking about. This is the new severe thunderstorm warning. Smith Hill, Cartwright, home field, developing some hail, and with the risk of damaging wind gusts and large hail. Alana, what was the details on the size of the hail for that estimated from Environment Canada? Did you see by any chance?
Quarter size, just like the Deloraine storm.
Oh, quarter? Okay, yeah. So quarter size hail, which is obviously severe. Yeah, that's definitely something we want to carefully watch. Excuse me. Okay, so let me just log into our Twitch account here and ban the person that is spamming it. Excuse me. Let me see.
Adam, I'm going to step away to have a quick bite to eat. I will be back shortly.
Okay, go ahead. All right, I'll be here. And Liam's about to do a 7-hour solo, so that's exciting. I'll just pull her out of there. There we go. Dylan says, I tried twice to send support, but it keeps getting denied. Oh, sorry to hear that. So you're trying to send stars? If you're on the Manitoba Stormwatch page, you might want to switch to Instant Weather Manitoba and try it there instead. I'm not sure why it's not working, but maybe it's something we have to do in our settings, so it's possible. Or alternatively, try it on a desktop instead of on your mobile device. But thank you so much. Appreciate you even attempting. Thank you so much. Makes a huge difference. So we really appreciate that. Let's see here. Daniel says one side the sun and other looks dark in Deloraine. Yeah, because again, very isolated storm. So depending on what side you're on, yeah, I mean, it's if you're in Deloraine, then if you're on this side, probably looks sunny. Does it look sunny towards the west and dark towards the east? That's what I'm assuming because the storm is moving east of you, so that's probably the case. But Dylan said, "I'll try, bud." Thank you so much, appreciate it. If not, no worries. And there's other ways as well too. So, but yeah, it's starting to get some rotation on that storm. So we're just continuing to watch it slowly moving east, which is kind of a nice thing because if this does end up producing severe weather or a tornado or anything to that extent, it's really helpful when these storms are moving slow, because then people get a big long heads up before they arrive, and that's fantastic. When they're flying and going way too fast, it can be problematic. So yeah, so severe thunderstorm warning on both of those storms, and we continue to watch them as they track to the east. Let me just back up and show exactly where these storms are. If you're in the Winnipeg area, if you're in Portage-la-Prairie, Winkler, these are quite a distance from you. These are south of Brandon, and they're slowly tracking to the east. So let me hit play here, and we'll load up a radar animation and see which way they're going. So they are slowly tracking to the east. To the northeast. That Cartwright storm's kind of trying to move due north. However, if you look at the what was it again? White. I should just call it Deloraine. If you look at the Deloraine storm, it's trying to track east, but the Cartwright storm is actually trying to track north. So that's actually quite interesting. Cartwright is kind of getting missed by the strongest part of that storm, and it's heading up towards kind of towards Killarney, but a little bit to the east, Neelan, maybe up towards Balmy Beach, Belmont, and that Deloraine storm is going kind of towards Kroll, Elgin. Yeah, it's interesting. They're moving in slightly different directions. They're trying to go the same way, but the Deloraine storm is going east, so that's interesting for sure. So there's that.
Yeah,
so how are you, Liam?
The reflectivity on that Deloraine storm looks pretty thick in the middle of it, eh? You got like 70 dBz in the middle.
Oh, it's 70 in the middle, really?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm getting off of the Minot.
From Minot?
Yep.
Why not? I have terrible jokes. This is all I got, folks. Okay, let's see here. So, yes, I see 60. Oh yeah, there's a 65 here. Yeah, they're getting pretty getting pretty high up there. Might be some pretty heavy duty hail in there. Yeah, 65. Holy. Excuse me. I've been fighting a cold for a week, so maybe not a week, since like Tuesday. It feels like a month. That's how I'm trying to stay awake as best I can. At some point in time, I might duck out, but I feel like as soon as I duck out, these storms are going to explode. But we'll have to see how it goes. And explode in a bad way, not a good way. I mean, if you don't want severe weather, explode as in vanish would be, but I mean, like, step it up a notch. So yeah, so that's the two storms we're watching. They're moving slowly to the northeast, northeast. The Cartwright storm is moving north. The Deloraine storm is moving northeast-ish, trying to track east. And that is what we are dealing with. Do we have a new update? I think we should get a new update pretty soon here. I think we have one. Yeah, we do have a new update. So interesting shape change here. Starting to see some rotation on the Cartwright storm. Right in kind of the bear's cage too, right in home field, right in the hook. So that's probably the developing wall cloud. That how do you pronounce his name again? I say it wrong every time.
Keen.
Okay, maybe, yep. I think I did actually say it right once. Yeah, so he's probably seen that developing wall cloud. Looks like it's happening right over home field, and there's definitely a hook happening with that storm. So hook developing on that storm, heading up towards Pleasant Valley, and a really interesting change on the Regan storm, and some rotation there too as well. Yeah, that's interesting. It's definitely starting to rotate up here. That is interesting. So we'll have to watch that closely.
Yeah, if you look at it from Fox Warren,
yeah,
right south of Regent, you can see the high, and it's high up, but it's there.
So that little velocity couplet, yeah, I see it. Yeah.
And now I'm seeing a hail contour on it too. I'm looking on it on a.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's definitely producing hail. That's with values that high. So that might be a little hail mezzo, but definitely some broad rotation developing with both of those storms right now. I keep putting them on top of my head. The one northwest of Cartwright that is heading right over home field right now is certainly the interesting storm of the day. Let's see here. Oh, looks like we have another report from Twitter. I can't pronounce her name. I forget how to pronounce it. I always say it in my head, but it's Misheyla.
Yeah, I got it here.
Misheyla? She says, cute little base on the severe warned storm west of Boise Vane, I think it is. Yep. I think she's talking about the Cartwright storm, no?
No, this is the
oh, this is the Whitewater one.
Yep.
The Regent, yeah, this is that storm. Oh, okay.
So she's lowering on it too, yeah.
Yeah, she's got a base on that, and there's kind of a bit of a developing wall cloud on the other storm too. So, well, there was a bit of a question of where storms would develop and when, and if they would be able to hold up. But these two are holding up. There's a storm to the north as well too, near Sioux Valley, but it's not really doing much. But maybe I'm looking at the wrong radar station. Let me look at Fox Warren. No, looks pretty weak. So those storms up there are pretty weak, but this Whitewater storm, with that lowering base, and that Cartwright storm, both of those storms, or I should say the Holmesfield storm now, both of those are still going pretty strong. They're still cooking. So there's that. Let's see here. Okay, so we're just watching those closely. Those are the two storms that have the potential to cause severe weather. Both of them are under a severe thunderstorm warning right now, and waiting for an update on that U.S. radar. But yeah, definitely developing rotation on both storms right now. A little bit brighter on the Regent storm, the Whitewater storm. Also closer to the radar, but it's picking it up. So Future radar is still trying to take them north, but I have a feeling they're going to track a little bit more to the east eventually. Although that Cartwright storm is moving pretty much due north, so maybe future radar's onto something. We'll see. By the way, thanks for joining the stream with me, Liam. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. It's fun. I'm just taking a look at the models right now to see what the supercell is like.
Wonder what the meso-analysis is looking like as well too.
Actually,
I'm going to jump over to future radar. I wonder if there's any VTP. Yeah, these are they're trying to go north towards Brandon and maybe towards McGregor eventually, Austin. Future radar's trying to take them to the north, so we'll see. I should back this out here. So, I mean, there's so many people in Winnipeg that want to know if they're going to get a storm and what's it going to be doing. And Steinbach. We have so many Steinbach members of our community. So let's watch that future radar. Maybe I'll move this so the timestamp doesn't have a city underneath it. There we go. It's trying to bring a storm towards Winnipeg around 11. So that's something. But we'll see. We'll see what it wants to do here. Did you get a chance to take a look at the meso-analysis there?
Yeah, it is. Just trying to. I'm still not used to the SPC site. I usually just use Pivotal, but.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we're at a 4 actually on the composite indices, and Supercell we're at a 4. Wonder what VTP is here. Oh, VTP is actually not bad. It's stronger for the Cartwright storm, but it's at a 1 for the Cartwright, and it's at a 0.5 for the white. What was it again? Whitewater? Yeah, the Whitewater storm. The reaching storm.
Hail. No, there's nothing on the hail.
Hail indices.
One, no.
Even Supercell left moving is interesting as well too. So for those who don't know what we're talking about, we're just taking a look at the environment parameters in the background. So the stronger the environment is, the better chance these storms have of reaching severe thresholds. So we're just watching that closely. In the background, while we track these storms. Fun. Liam, have you ever given me any requests on guitar?
I don't think so. I mean, what was it? I requested
any fiddle music.
The hip the one time. Remember? I think it was one of the first streams.
You didn't request the hip when there was literally a hurricane going through Louisiana. Was that your request that time or no?
No. I was.
I started to sing "New Orleans is Sinking" and then I stopped. Do you remember that?
I think it was on that
like
one,
this is terrible timing. So yeah, that was awful. Somebody I forget who said it to me, but someone was like, I think it was Lana. She's like, I don't know, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try a different song. Oh, look at just west of Cartwright. Keen posted looks like maybe a little wall cloud, maybe a little developing funnel there. That storm's really going now. Let me make sure I've got the latest.
What radar I should be looking at for that, because it's tough.
I think it's Minot. And yeah, both of them are going, oh, there's definitely a couplet now right over home field. Oh man. Okay, I'm going to actually send a notification to those in that area because it's really getting strong right now. That is a definite rotation couplet over home field, and we have a lowering possible. Keen didn't even say what it is, but it looks like a possible wall cloud turning into maybe a possible funnel cloud. So I'm going to send a notification to those folks right now just to give them a heads up that we have developing rotation on that storm, and there is a reported lowering on it as well too. So let me just do that really quickly. Give me just 1 second here. Okay,
I'll bring it up so they can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, no worries. I'm actually going to bring it up while I do the updates. I'm gonna pull up the plugin update here. So cool. I'm going to do this while I send the notification. So there we go. So let me just make sure we have home field here. Should be. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to send a notification to those in that area right now that there is rotation detected, and it looks like it's moving. It could move east. So I'm gonna extend this a little bit to the east, but I think it's trying to move north. Everything's telling me it's trying to move north, but I think that's where I'm going to draw the polygon right now. I'm going to hit update here, and let's send it to. We got 43 folks in that area on our app here. So new severe thunderstorm watch has been issued as well too. So I'm going to switch this to there we go, and let me rotation detected. Let's see here. We've detected rotation on the storm. over home field. And then let me just do an MV storm right there. And let's get rid of that. It's pre-made. Okay, and let's see here. Add that. Okay, I just want to put the time in here. So it's 6:01. And then I've already got a pre-made date. There we go. I'm going to send that out right now. Yeah, I'm going to send that right now. So anybody in that area, the 43 folks who are in that area, just got a notification from us. Let us know if you did. And yes, we'll have that sent to your phone immediately. So if you don't have our app, again, download it for free. You can get it at instantweatherapp.com. But that is definite couplet rotation. I definitely have some rotation developing on that storm. And we had a report of a lowering as well, too. So that storm is getting going. And there is broad rotation on the other storm as well, too. On the Whitewater Lake region heading up to Kroll, there is broad rotation in there as well too, but nothing is really in the right place as far as tornado development. It seems more like broad rotation, a meso that is producing hail, but this rotation is right on the southern side of that storm, and right over home field. So yeah, rotation detected on that storm for sure. Yeah, so hopefully folks that are in the area obviously taking the right precautions at this point in time. There already is a severe thunderstorm warning from Environment Canada, and and that storm is tracking. So 6:01, that's right. And there was a new severe thunderstorm watch as well too. It was issued. Let me just double check on that one right now while we're at it. I wonder where that was issued. Maybe it was just reissued.
That was for Brandon. No, that was this one.
To the north. I just
Brandon.
saw it. Yeah. I see it. Yeah.
And
so Carberry, Stockton, Austin, Halborough, Forest, Brandon, Nesbitt, all of those areas have a severe thunderstorm watch as well too right now. So there's that. But rotation detected on that storm that is over home field right now. It's definitely a rotation couplet, and we did have a report of a lowering on that storm as well too. So so that's definitely something to be watching very, very carefully as it tracks to the east-northeast. Lots of spotters on that storm right now, so they will definitely let us know if it does end up producing anything. But that is a classic rotation signature on that storm. That is a classic couplet. So we have to watch that very, very, very closely here. Let me just see. Minot seems to be best, I think, for these storms. Definitely. There is actually a new radar frame, and it's still showing rotation on that storm. So, definitely still rotation on that storm. And that, I mean, it's got kind of that classic supercell look to it. It's got a rotation couplet just northeast of home field now, heading up towards Pleasant Valley, heading up towards Neelan. So if you're in those areas, you're going to want to start preparing to get to a safe place, because that storm has the potential with rotation like this to produce a tornado at some point in time. So we haven't had any reports of a tornado yet, but we did see a report of a lowering. So a developing wall cloud, and a wall cloud is what happens typically before a tornado when you have a supercell tornado. So sometimes there are tornadoes that are produced without a wall cloud, but in this case, there is a report of a lowering of a wall cloud. It almost in that report, it almost looked like a funnel cloud, like starting to develop into a funnel cloud. It's on an angle, but it's definitely wall trying to turn into a funnel cloud there. And based on the rotation on radar, I mean, it's inside of a tornado watch, and we have a rotating couplet, and we have a supercell isolated by itself. So, I mean, a lot of the check marks are coming together there, Alien.
Yep. I'm just trying to keep an eye on what was I trying to see?
Whitewater storm?
The comments on this one, but I saw something, but I don't know where it went. I think we should mention again, if people are in the area, like about the storm reports group, if you want to bring that up too.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just to mention that, because we want to get Manitoba Stormwatch or the reports going too, because Ontario is doing quite well.
Yeah, the Ontario has grown quite a lot. The Alberta one's grown quite a lot as well, and Saskatchewan has really exploded as well too. So we want to definitely get more Manitoba folks on. If you are on Facebook, head over to the link that I just put right here. It's facebook.com/groups/Manitoba Storm, and that's our new Manitoba Storm Reports group. So it's really cool because instead of you sending a report to us and then we have to like find it and then send it out to the community. This is great because you can post and everybody in the community can see it. So during severe weather, when things are moving and going fast, we're trying to eliminate the friction between you having a report of something significant and the entire community being able to see it. So thanks for bringing that up, Liam. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you are on Facebook, if you're on the Book of Faces, I'm the only one who calls it that. I don't know why I always do it, but if you are on the Book of Faces, then definitely go to facebook.com/groups/Manitoba Storm. Or just hit the little search icon on Facebook or go to the search bar at the top and type Manitoba Storm Reports and you'll find our group there. Please join it. I think during times when we have a lot of storm activity, we turn off approval. So normally we approve every member that comes into it. But in times like these, we just turn off approval because we just get flooded with new members, right? So please definitely join our group. Join our group. We appreciate it. Marianne says, so appreciate you. We appreciate you too, Marianne. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Northern Ice Dragon, sweet name, says this live stream is a brilliant idea. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you kindly. Dylan says a lot developing coming up towards Winnipeg too. Yeah, there's definitely some potential for some big storms to head up that way tonight. So we'll see what happens. It's possible for sure. Dylan asked that question as well too. Oh, there's Alana. Alana, let me know when you want me to bring you back on. If you nod your head, I will bring you back on as well. Yeah, she's nodding. Okay, there she is. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Dylan says, is there a possibility of a strong storm will reach Winnipeg? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, Future Radar is suggesting it. Lana, while you were gone, we posted about, I don't know if you saw, but we posted about rotation detected on this home field storm because it's got a hook and it's got a rotation couplet. And there was also a report from Keene of lowering. So all those things coming together, demonstrating that we have a pretty significant storm here. I'm going to see if there is a newer frame. Yes, there is a new frame as well too. It looks like the rotation may have weakened a little bit as well in that storm. It's kind of coming and going. It hung for 2 frames. There was a very classic couplet there for 1 frame. And let's see here. And now it's kind of weakened a bit. If you see, it's kind of become a lot more broad. But that storm is still going. But over here, this storm was really interesting. This whitewater storm moving towards, is it Boise Vane? Is that how you pronounce it? Boise Vane? Boise Vane? Lana.
Oh, sorry. Lana. I'm not too sure about that one.
Are you not too sure about that one? I think it's probably Boise Vane, but everybody's going to phonetically spell it in the comments, I'm sure. It's starting to get, the broad rotation on that's starting to kind of come together as well too. So multiple areas of hail on that storm, and definitely seeing some rotation here within that storm. So that's one we might want to mention as well too. I have a feeling the home field storm is gonna kick back up as well too, but I don't think that's the last we've seen of rotation on that particular storm. But we will see. Future Radar is trying to kind of weaken that storm though as it moves to the northeast. So we'll see. But we might have some more storms coming into the southeast corner. Boise Vane. Yeah, Boise Vane, says Sandy. Thank you so much. You pronounced it correctly, says Northern Ice Dragon. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Boise Vane. Yeah. Look, it's B, says it's taunting you just a little, Adam. Just a little. Just a bit. Let's see here. Drew asked a question about Lincoln, Nebraska, about the mesoscale, about the tornado risk in Lincoln. I think actually, I'm pretty sure that the tornado risk is stronger tomorrow, but I'd have to go double check again. I was looking at that earlier, so I'm not 100% sure at this exact time. But I mean, the SPC in the US is we're all big fans of it up here in Canada, and they do a fantastic job. But yeah, I mean, if they have a risk out for that area, then it's definitely a risk. But I know that in the SPC outlook, I don't think they even had a tornado risk highlighted at all today. But that may have changed. I'm not sure. So let me go take a look here. That may have changed as time developed. Let's see, because I know their outlooks do change. Oh yeah. Sorry, I might have been thinking of. Was I thinking of yesterday? No, I might have been thinking of yesterday. Anyways, but yeah, tomorrow. That's what I'm thinking of. Tomorrow is insane. There's like a 15% tornado risk. It looks crazy tomorrow. But oh yeah, but so the enhanced does have a 10% tornado risk right now in the US as well too. So they actually upgraded it because it was only a 5 and a 2, and now it's upgraded to 10. But I could have sworn earlier that they didn't have that, but maybe they upgraded that as time went on. So I'd have to go double check to make sure, but I'm pretty sure I refreshed it a bunch of times this morning to make sure, but I didn't see a tornado risk coming from the SPC. But maybe over time they changed that, so we'll see. Let's see here. I could be thinking of yesterday though. Again, oh sorry, go ahead.
I have an updated picture from the Cartwright storm if you want to check it out. I have
for sure.
Report here from Twitter.
Who's that from?
This is from Dustin Freeman. He's on the Spotter Network. I just saw his dot there, and I saw it updated on Twitter. So it looks pretty dark.
Yeah, it's coming together for sure. Interesting.
This was before it. I think this was before it started to fall apart a bit on the Cartwright one. But
I probably would have had the stronger mezzo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you're looking at that storm, that whitewater storm is looking good. Definitely strong rotation on that one developing now as well too. Let me just pull that up as well. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, it's the Cartwright one. It kind of weakened a bit, but this is, I mean, it still has that strong signature. So I think we should be getting an update pretty soon from that station. I think there's a new one coming out right about now. Let's see if we can capture that. Oh yeah, so there is a new update there. So rotation's still broad on that storm. By broad, we mean not really super focused, not really a strong necessarily couplet, but it definitely has some rotation signs to it, but it's not really super duper strong. Definitely not as strong as the Cartwright one, the home field one was earlier. Home field's kind of weakened a bit, but it's still got a nice hail core. It still has a nice shape to it. But it has weakened as far as the rotation a little bit. So let's see what it's doing from over here. It's not the greatest.
The region storm is actually making more of an eastward movement now. If you look at the last couple frames, it's way more east moving now. Yeah. So it's
and that's an interesting thing.
Into that tornado watch zone eventually.
Yeah, that's right. It should be heading that way for sure. It looks like the storm tracks are taking it that way too. Yeah, definitely. It's got an interesting signature here from Fox Warren. Interesting. Okay, so what time is it here? 7:13. All right. Well, this is kind of 6:13. This is kind of prime time for these storms to really take off now. I mean, thankfully, again, they're moving slowly, which is great news for being able to carefully watch them and see if they're going to produce anything significant. The rotation on that home field storm did weaken, which is great. So now, will it stay that way? Hard to say for sure. But hold on a second, and it's back. So starting to rotate again. So heading towards Neyland, heading towards Pleasant Valley, maybe Glenora, but it seems to be taking more of a northerly path, which is really interesting to have one storm going kind of due north and the other storm going due east. That's interesting. There's definitely some curious stuff going on here. But yeah, both these storms still rotating. Both isolated supercells, and we're watching them closely to see what they do and develop into. So there's that. Let's see here. Any new reports? That one you showed. Where did you find that report, by the way, Liam? Was that on Twitter?
Yeah, that was on Twitter. That was on hashtag MB Storm. So you just looked at there's that was one of the photos just posted recently.
Oh, I see it. I had to scroll down. There was a whole bunch of stuff posted. I get a million of these CTV things covering it. So there we go. Okay, I see that further down. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. I should actually share that to the pages. Might be a good idea as well. Let's see here. Elena, how was dinner?
It was good. Nothing
Nice.
crazy.
Oh, what'd you have? You don't mind me asking. If you don't want to answer it.
Just some chicken fingers and fries.
Ah, that actually sounds quite delicious at this point in time. I know my wife's making dinner right now. She's probably like, can you come out from the live stream at some point to eat? So I might have to duck out at some point in time, but it should be okay for now. Spotter just messaged me privately and said they're on the Deloraine storm. Still calling it the Deloraine storm. It's moved on. It's now called the Whitewater storm. It's actually more like probably the Boise Vane storm, but they're on that storm right now. So they're sending me private photos of it right now. So thank you for that. I appreciate it, Mandy. Thank you kindly. I think Mandy's actually on our live stream as well too. So that's cool.
She definitely was earlier.
She was earlier, yeah, for sure. Look at B says storm food equals best food. Yeah, that's definitely the storm food. It's awesome. Norvin had another question that I totally missed. Norvin, hold on a second here. I missed your question, and I don't know if I can find it up the page. Oh, I thought I answered it, Norvin. You said, are the forecasting standards the same in the U.S. and Canada? And I said, pretty much. That's the idea. We talked about that for quite a bit. I don't know if you heard those answers, but they're pretty much the idea is that they're quite similar. In practice, they can be different, but that can also be for different offices in the U.S. You know, one NWS office to the next can be more aggressive with tornado warnings or a little bit more laxed. It all depends, right? So, so it's pretty interesting stuff. Let's see here. Amy says, looks later for Winnipeg, and these ones look like they're going to die off. That's what Future Radar is trying to do. It's trying to kill them off here, but we'll see. I'm going to see what the latest Future Radar says, or actually shows, and I'll bring that up on the stream. So, Norvin said the app question. Where is your app question? Sorry, there's the problem is that it's not a problem, but it's we're live on 7 different platforms right now, or 7 different places, from a few different Facebook pages to a Facebook group to Twitch to YouTube to Twitter, and therefore they all get put into one big stream here. So it might look like there's not a lot of questions where you're posting, but there's definitely a lot of stuff I have to scroll up from to see here. So I don't see your app quite. Oh, you're in West Central Illinois. Oh, that's cool. Nice. I see you saying my question's still waiting. Alana, were you going to say something?
Yeah. Your radar right now, is that on Minot?
Yeah, that's Minot. Yeah. Is there an update from that?
Take a look at that storm with Fox Warren. It's getting tighter.
Is it getting stronger? Okay, let's see here.
Oh, no, sorry. The Western storm.
Look at that. That's a little couplet there. So it's getting stronger, and let's see what's going on here. Oh yeah. It's there's an interesting BWER, a bounded weak echo region happening right there. And that bounded weak echo region is right at the rotation, which is really interesting. In fact, this kind of looks like a hook, even though there's a separate cell to the south. This is a really strange storm, but definitely rotation there right above Whitewater Lake Wildlife Management Area, otherwise known as the WLWMA. I have no idea. And but there's I'm looking at that. That's really interesting, but I'm also still looking at this storm that it's an interesting spot. So Neelan, Pleasant Valley, that storm's probably pretty nasty above you right now. So you're going to be wanting to pay attention to that. But yeah, if you back it, sometimes I'm so close to the radar, it's like, it's right at the end of your nose. And you kind of back out and look at these and you go, oh yeah, that Western storm still looks pretty strong. So let me go take a look at Fox Warren too, because it's probably looking even stronger there. Oh yeah, it's coming together for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks strong. Lots of hail right with it as well too. So, and it's interesting that the green's on the right here and the red's on the inside. I wonder if it's, it is inflow, but it's, I don't know. It's hard to say what it's doing, but I know that there was a report earlier that showed a nice base on it as well too. A spotter was on that storm as well and said there's a nice base on it. But yeah, it's coming together. It's moving east. It's the east mover, so it might actually be the one to watch, but it's hard to say for sure. These are both. They both look pretty good.
Question for you, Adam.
Yes.
The radar product that you're using, do we have additional dual pole products on it, like correlation coefficient?
Yeah, we have CC's on there as well too, so I can flip over to CC.
Yeah, take a look at that.
Interesting. It's
I want to see how that correlates with. Okay.
This is interesting right here, because isn't that exactly where? Or I thought it was to the north. Yeah, because it's that it was the couplet. So we know actually I can make this velocity. So why don't I just do that? So let's make the left side velocity and the right side CC. So yeah,
Okay.
right where the couplet is, there's nothing spectacular, and then all of this to the right is just noise. All of this blue to the right. So for those who are watching, we're trying to see a drop. Oh, this is interesting right here. We're trying to see a drop in the CC, in the correlation coefficient, and what that can sometimes show you is debris. So if there was actually a tornado on the ground, you'd see a big section of blue. It would be a big drop, and that would be the storm actually lofting debris. So I don't think that is a debris signature right now. No, because there's basically no reflectivity right there. So I don't think so, unless this is some very strange bookend vortex here that's not really showing up, but I don't think so. But yeah, so let's go take a look at this storm as well too. Yeah, I think some of the drops are probably just hail related, so not really seeing a big signature. But that was a good point. Yeah, we should probably take a look at that more often, especially as these storms really start to get going. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, the two storms, still watch them closely. These are the two in question, and we are carefully watching them as they track to the east. While you were gone, Alana, there's another severe thunderstorm watch issued for Brandon. So they issued it to the north. I did
notice that.
Yeah, because these storms they're trying to go northeast. They're trying their best. And Future Radar is still trying to pull them that way as well too. So if I flip back over to our app, again, if you haven't downloaded our app yet, please do so. You can get it for free at instantweatherapp.com. And you're looking at the upgraded radar version that has 5 hours of Future Radar here. And you can see it was trying to actually weaken them a lot earlier, but now it's trying to pull them all the way up past Portage la Prairie. And then as you saw, a giant blob came out of nowhere heading towards Winnipeg later tonight. So let's take a look at that. Heading towards LeBreau, heading towards Steinbach. That kind of died out, but then Winnipeg gets a pretty big storm at around 11:15 tonight, based on that Future Radar there. I see Liam is back in town. Liam, if you want to come back on the stream, nod your head and I'll bring you back in.
No, I noticed that Look It's B on Twitch has a good question about, we were talking about correlation coefficient. It's like, why do debris signatures show up on radar?
Yeah, so what correlation coefficient is basically a low value is bad. It means when dual pole sends out waves, it sends out one like this and it sends out one like this. And the cool thing about that is they can compare those waves together. And when you have just rain, those waves send back basically the same signature. So the correlation is very high. So if you have a very high correlation, that means you're dealing with rain, maybe some small hail, but usually, for rain, you get a very, very high correlation. It means basically we're seeing the same thing from this wave that we're seeing from this wave. But when you have debris lofted, all of a sudden, all the correlation is fine. And then, this wave is hitting a chunk of debris one way, and this wave is hitting a chunk of debris a different way. And then the correlation between those two waves goes way down. So when you have a debris signature, it's basically saying, all different shapes and sizes of debris are being thrown around. And that's why you see a huge drop in CC, as we like to call it, or correlation coefficient. So, yeah, so if you see a giant drop and that drop is perfect, you can have drops like we saw that have nothing to do with debris, maybe have to do with hail. That's probably what we're seeing on some of those drops is hail, because, hailstones can be different sizes. And if there's hailstones and rain, those are, showing up different between the two waves. So that's why you might be seeing drops there. But when you have a big CC drop, a correlation coefficient drop that is perfectly co-located with a velocity couplet, which is the rotation of the storm, with the hook of a supercell, if all of those things are in the exact same spot, that's when we have a TDS, which is a tornado debris signature. So TDS is what we're hoping not to see, but if we do see a TDS, that would be bad. Look, there's actually some pretty interesting rotation still on that region storm, but it's in a weird spot. It's on the west side of that storm. I don't know. Let me try to pull it up here. Let me make sure I have the latest data. Yeah, but hopefully that answers your question about what a CC drop is and why we're looking for it. But it's basically comparing the waves, and are the waves the same, or are they much different? And you can actually have different waves as well too. The cool thing about correlation coefficient, it can show you when there's it can show you when there's bats flying at night, or when there's big birds taking off. You can see it actually changes the correlation coefficient value. So bugs, you can see all sorts of things. It's really interesting. So let me go back to raw radar here. I'm still seeing some rotation on that Nealon storm. Not as strong right now, but it's trying. It's definitely trying. And then we do have the Whitewater Lake area. So this is actually a big, we say broad, because if it was just, these few pixels, then that would be what we saw earlier on the Nealon storm. There is the very tight rotation couplet. But in this particular case, this is actually more broad rotation because it's a larger area. But then when we compare it to the storm, I mean, I guess it could be argued that is trying to hook, but I don't know. It's at an interesting spot. I mean, there's definitely rotation in that storm. It's just at an interesting spot. I don't think, nothing to me necessarily screams that could produce, but hey, there's a lot of spotters on that storm right now. So maybe they're seeing a developing wall cloud in that spot. It's very possible. But I don't think we see any reports right now from those spotters. I'm sure if they saw something really interesting, they would let us know. So, but radar continues to show. I mean, this storm all the way since Leighton or earlier has been showing kind of just broad developing rotation. So it hasn't really gone, gangbusters on this particular one, but it's definitely trying to go. Let's see here. I think we have another update.
Yeah, we have another severe thunderstorm warning.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
From the same storms? Is it just an update?
It looks like it's a new one to the east of Minto.
Excuse me. Oh, east of Minto. Have they just expanded the region? Is that what's happening here?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Okay, because I don't think there's
east
of Manito of Manitou.
No, Minto. Minto.
Oh, Minto. Yes. Where is Minto? Am I missing it somewhere?
Yeah, I think it might just be a continuation or expansion.
I think it's probably an expansion, yeah.
But it's on that western storm, and now Environment Canada is suggesting golf ball sized hail.
Whoa! Wow. That's not fun. Oh, wow. If we go to the Woodlands radar station, the Nealon storm looks a lot better than it did from the U.S. radar. As you can see what I'm looking at right here. This is starting to kind of come together here.
Actually, yeah, looking at where Nealon is on the polygon for this new warning, Nealon is in the bottom right-hand corner of the polygon. So it very well could be for either storm, because you've got the one that's tracking sort of north, but the other one's tracking east. I think it's probably going to be more that eastern storm.
I see. You're just filling in the gaps there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Fox Warren looks really interesting on both of these storms. Actually looks quite strong on the Nealon storm. But it's quite a distance from the radar. But if we go over here to the Woodlands radar, which is northwest of Winnipeg. It's liking this Nealon storm. And then we go back to Minot. And Minot is definitely not as strong in the Nealon, but might be getting picked up better from the Woodlands radar potentially. But this is still showing some kind of more broad rotation in the Boise vein storm. But if you look at the Canadian radars, they're starting, I mean, they're looking a little bit higher up, right? So they're starting to like those. I mean, if it's got rotation higher up, that can end up usually transferring down to the surface. So if it's got support high up and it's rotating, then that's something to watch. Let's see here. Yeah, I wonder if there's even higher support on that Nealon storm. I'm going to go up a frame. Yeah, there is some rotation up higher. It looks a little bit stronger here. What's that value? See, this value seems a little more realistic. Maybe not. No, there's two of them beside each other. That's when I start to think maybe there's something going on here. It's 127 kilometers an hour and 126 kilometers an hour. Then you have a dropout, which is a classic Canadian radar thing. Even with the new radars, they have some filtering in them to deal with noise. And in some cases that pulls out values that are extremely high. And that's when you can have these kind of like black holes in the middle of velocity. And in this case, there's just a giant black hole in the middle of this, right where the strongest values are. The fact that there's these two beside each other but then right beside it, you have 51 kilometers and 51 kilometers. Then you have a total blackout. This could be a really high red value that we don't see. That's actually could be a dropout, because if you look at the positioning of it, I mean, it's right in the sweet spot here, and there's a total dropout. So that's something.
I mean, we have two spotters on the southeast of that cell right now. So I'm just going to keep an eye on Twitter for
I haven't seen anything too significant over there. Let me see.
Apparently there's something in the Manitoba storm reports group that someone said for the Cartwright storm.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
I think I can actually bring that up here. So give me a second. I will do that.
Oh, yep. By Anne. I posted 9 minutes ago. Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's a good low.
Wow is a good term. So let me bring that up here. I thought I had it ready. Oh, I do have it ready. Okay. I just have to refresh it. Okay. All right. I'll bring that up right now and pull it up onto the stream here for everybody to see. And this is from our Manitoba Storm Reports group. There's our live stream. Nobody wants it. Whoa. Holy moly. Really? 9 minutes ago, eh? Wow. Okay, let's pull that up here. I think this should come up on the... Okay, so that's an interesting lowering, but whoa. That might be worth... this one is Teresa's photo. She says Michelle... Oh, I see. Michelle Foot and Ann Foot. That one is wild. So... I don't know if they're on Twitter, or if we should maybe just repost that to Twitter for them.
Tag the NTP.
Like that. Hold on a second here. Let me see. I need to take a look at this here. So hold on a sec. Before we go to town here, let me pull back up radar. Let me back this out a little bit. Make sure we have the latest radar frame. I think we did actually get an update. Boise vein looks interesting. Boise vein's kind of strengthening actually from the Woodlands radar. Right there. Hold on a sec. Let me take a look at this. Because this is... Yeah, hold on a second. No. This is definitely a screenshotted photo. This is probably... Hold on. We got to be really careful with this one here. Yeah, and before we go and share this, I'm just going to go double check. Let me just do a little bit of research in the background. Because I'm going to do a reverse search on Google. Because if you open up that photo that looks like a funnel cloud, it's clearly cropped. You can see a white bar at the top, which makes me worry that it's a false report. So hold on a sec. Let me see. And it also looks totally different from the other pictures, right? The other pictures kind of look like what we've seen so far, and then all of a sudden there's this like giant funnel looking photo out of nowhere. So that looks a little bit sketchy to me. So let's do some research here before we go to town on that photo. I'm going to do a reverse lookup on it. It's only 14 kilobytes. That's interesting. Reverse lookup. I can't find anything from reverse lookup, so I think we should ask her where this photo came from, because it looks pretty questionable to me here. I'm gonna ask her right now. And foot. 1 second here. There we are. Okay. Where did this photo come from? I'm asking her right now. Actually, I'm going to send her a private message as well, too, because we have a mutual friend. So that's something. I need to find out. We're doing some investigatory journalism here. That's not even a word. Let me just ask her where this photo came from. And I'll post the photo to her and see what she says. If she answers my private message, hopefully she does. 1 second here. I sent you a private message request. Okay, yeah, this one looks a little odd. That one's a little odd, so let's hold off on that one. That looks like it happens sometimes when you're in these storm events where somebody sends somebody a photo and then they post it to a friend, and all of a sudden people are like, I took this photo. And then these things do happen. So we have to be very, very careful with them. Whoa, look at the radar is that from Fox Warren? Fox Warren is really stepping it up on that Neelan storm. It's coming together. Interesting shape to the storm. And the Boise vein is coming together as well, too. No wonder they're talking about golf ball size hail on that one, because it's coming together for sure. Let's take a look at Minot for a sec here. Minot looks a lot weaker on the Neelan storm, which is really interesting. And looks weaker on the Boise vein storm as well, too. And which one's closer? Is Minot still closer? Or is it? It's kind of split between the three of them now, isn't it? Like, this storm is at a perfect in-between of all these radars. So we might want to start looking at Canadian radar only here. Yeah, Boise vein is interesting, but that rotation signature is on the west side of that storm. So hopefully she messages me back here. Let's see if she did. This is from 2 phones, my daughter, and 1 is my phone. Okay, so she says it's from her daughter. Just wondering why there is a white bar at the top. Looks like a screenshot. So asking her about it. She's saying it's her daughter's photo, so it's possible. Don't get me wrong. I have to be cautious, because there's been some circumstances in the past where we've seen some photos that look like they were amazing, and then it turns out they were from like a storm in Kansas from 2004. When you do some research, so we want to be very cautious with this. We've learned our lessons, and we want to be very cautious.
This is 3 minutes ago in the Cartwright storm.
Okay, let me bring that up full screen. Whoa, yep. Yeah, that's a nice little wall cloud developing on that, and that's Keen again.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. So we'll see what she says about that. Maybe she texted it to you. I am sent it from my daughter. She told me to be safe, and I screenshotted it from her message. I see. Okay, so Anne screenshotted it from her daughter's message. And where is she located? You know what that might have been? That photo might have been exactly when Keen posted that lowering, because that actually kind of looks like Keen's lowering, if you remember, Liam, right? Because he was further away, but it kind of looks like that same lowering. And where is she located, or where was she located? West of Cartwright. Okay, cool. Yeah, you know what? That, as much as I'm being cautious, that might actually be a legit photo from just really close, because Keen has that photo where you see that tail, that lowering, right? Just as we posted about rotation, and so maybe she just got a really close capture of it. It's possible. Could be possible. I don't know. We'll see, but it's definitely interesting.
I'm wondering if it might be some condensation in the inflow rather than a funnel.
Yeah, like an inflow tail.
Yeah.
Or maybe some scud rising. It looks pretty good. I mean, it doesn't have that perfect. It's not like that perfect vertical, right? It's this really like the tail end, the inflow tail end that kind of has that funnel look to it, like it's trying to get going. I've seen those in the field before with Tom Steff before he took me out, and it was like the right side of the wall cloud kind of came down and made this like kind of perfect tail, and I'm like, is that gonna produce? And he's like, maybe, and then it didn't. So. But it was really exciting. But yeah, it could be that. You're right. It could be that for sure. Interesting.
Just judging from the angle of it, I'm just wondering that might be it as opposed to a funnel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's possible. It's just an inflow tail. So, okay. So she sent me the thread. Wow. So she actually sent me the thread, which looks a lot more legit now because you can see the photos individually posted. And so I see Anne took a screenshot of her text messages and cropped it. So it wasn't cropped from. And when I did a reverse image search on it, I didn't see anything. So I'm thinking more so that that's actually a legit photo from that storm. It's pretty impressive. My goodness. And I should ask her what time it was at. And I'm going to ask her if she can you hold down on that photo, save it to your camera roll, and send it to me, please? She's doing some, I think, yeah, she's got an iPhone, so I'm doing some iPhone tech support here. Send me that photo that's not cropped, please. Let me see here. Okay, so that's interesting. Thank you, Anne, for that. If you're on our live stream, thank you so much. New pics from Keen, said Eric. Thank you so much. Someone on YouTube said, do you cover weather here? But I don't know where here is. So let us know. Let us know. Tina says, is Winnipeg Beach involved? You might see some storms later on tonight if they're heading up that way. And future radar suggests that there could be some storms later on this evening in the Winnipeg area. So it's possible. Maybe up towards Winnipeg Beach. So maybe. So far, just the 2 isolated cells. There is some storms up by Brandon, but they don't look like they're doing anything special at this point in time.
Have you received any updates from Mandy? Because it looks like she's right in that Boise Vane storm.
There we go. She sent me the... No, she didn't send me the original. Oh. Hold on a second. It still has the white bar. That's how it came through when she sent it? I'm more skeptical at this point. I'm getting more skeptical of this photo. She saved it to her phone, sent it to me, and it still had the white bar at the top. Sorry, did I see any more from Mandy? No. Any news? I'll send her a message.
Actually, pull up that western storm on Foxhorn. Take a look at velocity on that.
Okay, one second. I was going to look at future radar, but okay, yeah, I can do that. 1 sec. Yeah, it's still got some going on. Right in the core there. Might just be a hail mezzo. That's what Alberta's famous for, is like, Alberta's like every storm has this beautiful mezzo, but they're all producing just hail. But then there's so many spotters underneath it that it's like you can just really quickly determine if it's something significant or not. Excuse me. Yeah, that west storm's interesting. Based on what reflectivity looks like, though, it looks to me like more of a hail signature. And whoa, there's some really high values here. Look at this value. What does it say? 71 dBz. 71. That is producing some hail for sure. Boise Vane's going to get some hail for sure. Oh, dear. That can't be good. Oh, my. Well, yeah. Yeah. And why are they different shapes? Why is one a 16:9 photo and the other one is clearly an iPhone photo? Yeah, I'm not sure why they're different aspect ratios. Seems odd. Seems a touch odd. I can't find it in reverse search, but it seems a touch odd. I don't know. Anne's probably not going to like that comment. I'm like, not sure why they're different aspect ratios. Seems odd. Smiley face. Seems odd. Anyways, and if you're watching, I'm just trying my best to be skeptical here. Got to be as skeptical as we can when we're dealing with reports, especially one that looks like that out of nowhere. She says, I don't know. I do know it's a true photo. Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you so much. And Cole says, I'm not buying it. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. It's really interesting. But it makes me raise my eyebrow a bit. I don't know. Anyways, it's all good. Whatever. We can't focus on that right now. We got to focus on these storms. I'm just taking a look at a few things in the background. Again, thanks so much, everybody, for joining us on the live stream. Thank you, Alana and Liam, for joining us as well, too. It might be time for a fiddle break.
Yeah.
I can just feel, I can read the room, and I'm like, everybody just wants a fiddle break. So you want to rock one?
Sure. I'll have to get up and grab it. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to turn my mic down before I do.
So this will be Liam's first and last live stream because I made him do 17 fiddle breaks.
All good. 1 sec.
All right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Okay. Fiddle break it up, and I'm going to check something here in the background.
I mean, I don't know any like Western Canadian fiddle tunes, but I do know Eastern ones because that's where I grew up in PEI. So, play a tune.
That's great. I love how you do like a perfect ending every time too. That's awesome.
Yeah, I play them enough on the stage, so I like to do a little bit of a showy ending, but it's fun.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah. That's sweet. That's awesome. I mean, it's better than doing like some abrupt ending, you know. That would have been yeah. Dude, that's great. I just feel like dancing on the Titanic or something when that's happening. You know what I mean? It's just like
impending doom.
No, well, not that part of it, but I just mean like, you know, it just seems like, you know, when they're all dancing in I mean, obviously that may have happened. It was in a movie, but you know, but it may have happened where they're all dancing and someone's playing a fiddle in the basement. But on the first level or whatever, no, it would have been the fourth level. I don't know what it's called. The basement. Yeah.
The basement.
Cool. The basement. In the basement. Okay, so that's awesome, dude. You rock, man. We have to we gotta record something. It'd be so much fun. We gotta do.
Yeah.
You gotta figure out some fiddle to bookend vortex or something. It'd be really fun.
Oh my god.
I was saying when I'm up, if I'm up near Barrie one time chasing, we'll stop in and do a tune.
Yeah, definitely, man. That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. I appreciate that. We'll rock it out. I'll have to come see you sometime though, down in the Hammer is usually where you play.
Yep. Every Friday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, cool. Nice. That's wicked. That's so cool, man.
I'm seeing a report here.
Oh,
from Boise Vane. It's a text report.
Yes.
It's on Twitter. But it says rain and heavy marble-sized hail. That's what I'm seeing. Heavy marble.
We're getting marble? Okay.
I mean,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no picture attached to it, but it's it looks like I think I recognize the name from a chaser or from a person on the Spotter Network, I believe. I think.
Where did you see? Where is that? Is it on MB Storm?
Yep.
Must be further down. How do I not see it? Oh, maybe
Eric,
I'm not.
Eric Hildebrandt.
I know.
And it's under the latest. It was 1 minute ago.
I see. You know what I realized you forgot to do is it was 1 minute ago. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I see Eric right there. Okay, I do see it. Yeah, thunderstorms over Boise Vane with rain and heavy marble size hail. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Is anybody in our community from the Boise Vane area? Please let us know if you are.
Got another severe thunderstorm warning. Cartwright into the north and east.
Expanding that one?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Checking a few different radars here. Whoa.
Hi.
Whoa.
Hi. Boise Vane got a lot stronger from Fox Warren. Whoa. Like a lot stronger. What's the VROD on this? 45 to 82. So 120 kilometer an hour rotation there. That's interesting. Hello. Let's see. Let's take a look at Minot here. I'm not going to make any more why not jokes.
Did I miss those when I was taking my break?
Yep.
Yeah, you missed one. Yeah. I was like, let's look at Minot. Why not? Anyways, yeah, definitely the rotation is there. What the heck is happening? Oh, a big fluff came out of nowhere. I thought it was like a spider falling down from the ceiling. It was just a fluff of my cat's hair that was falling towards me. Gave me that spider vibe for a sec. Yeah, so that's interesting. Is there some splitting going on in the right storm here? It kind of looks like it from Fox Warren. It looks like it's splitting. Yeah, it is splitting. Was it splitting or is that a new development?
That's a new development.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a new storm.
It gets going. A new cell coming out of nowhere. It's going to merge. Uh-oh. Merging's not good. It's going due north, past Clearwater, right into the inflow, past Mather, into Glenora, and it's going to merge right on the southern tip of that storm. That could be interesting. Ugh, that's not. I mean, sometimes merges destroy the storm and it turns into nothing. Sometimes merges. Allison says Boise Vane. What were we saying? Boise Vane? Boise Vane. We got a new spelling. We've had 17 versions of how we should pronounce this phonetically spelled for us, and this one is Boise Vane. Is that what you meant by debris signature? Says look at B. No, I wasn't looking at the debris signature yet. That was just a strong rotation, strong couplet. Boise Vane. Christy says yes, finally. Does that mean we said it right? Boise Vane? Boise Vane. We'll figure it out one of these years. Okay. Excuse me. So yes, you said it right last one, says Daniel. And then Northern Ice Dragon says Boise Vane. And then Michael says Boise Vane. Now I'm confused. Boise Vane. We're going to go with Boise Vane. Strong rotation, says Eric, on both radars. Yeah, I'm seeing that for sure. I'm definitely seeing that. 1 second here. Let me do a little zoom in. Little zoomy zoom. Make sure we have the latest from Woodland. The Woodland creature radar here. Still a little bit of a couplet on the Balder storm. Boise Vane looks interesting for sure. But when that other cell merges, I am curious as to what that's going to do. That is something.
Now, do you think that couplet's like a hail meso then too? Because it looks like it peaks right in the middle of that meso.
On the Boise Vane?
No, south of.
On the Nealon?
Like
I think so.
West of Glenora,
yeah.
It's peaking like right in that.
I mean it's a meso and it's producing hail. Like I don't think it's a tornadic meso yet, but it could be. And once that other cell merges, interesting for sure. I'm curious as to what that's going to do. It's either going to be good or bad, depending on perspective. Okay, so good or bad. Those are your options. Or it's going to be absolutely nothing different. It's going to merge and it's going to look exactly the same. So those are your three options. It's either going to strengthen the rotation, and that could be bad. It's going to weaken the rotation and destroy that storm, and that could be good. This is based on my perspective of not wanting tornadoes to occur. And then it can just merge and do nothing at all. I thought it split for a sec because I wasn't really paying attention. And then I watched it. I'm like, wait a minute, was that all one cell and that's split into two? But no, that came up from out of nowhere. Thank you for clarifying that, Alana. Alana and her insights. Here we go. We got a new phonetic spelling. Judy goes with boys a vein. Boys a vein. Boys a vein. Why is there so many S's? Like Boise. I think I used to call it Boise vein, but that's boys a vein. I don't know. Michael says I'm bad at pronouncing. Okay, well then we're gonna rule your version out. We're gonna go with boys a vein. We're gonna go with boys a vein here. 1 second. Yeah, that's what between Northern Ice Dragon, boys a vein, and then between Allison came out of nowhere with a boys za vein. I think it's the za. I could go for some za right now, but boys a vein. It would be a good idea. Yeah, I think it's right. Look, it's B says, yes. Hold on a second. Said, yes, it's the classic game of try to get Adam to say towns right. It's a classic game. Yeah, this is great. There was, I know Alana was screaming at me at some Ontario towns before. What don't even say them. I'll remember them. You ready? It's Tamagami. I got that one. That one is solid. And then the other one I'm terrible with. It's like Temescamine.
Pretty good. Temiskaming.
Temescaming. All right, cool. I almost had it. That's good. Sweet. Tracy says, where is the system tracking? It's moving to the east to the north. So the Boisa vein is moving to the, oh my goodness, this is going to have to get blocked. Okay. The Tracy says, where's it going? The Boisa vein storm is kind of moving due east, but the Nealon and Clearwater storms are trying to move north. So there's some really interesting motion happening right now where they're moving in different size directions. So that is something interesting for sure. Both of those storms have pretty incredible environments to deal with here, and they're all by themselves. So there was questions of were there even going to be storms? And obviously those questions have been answered. Saucy says, LOL, Adam has always gotten people to comment on my pronunciations. Yes, very helpful. I really want to go back one day and like put all the phonetic spellings together. Or we'll just have to have a live stream where we just talk about how to pronounce everybody's town.
So I'm getting a report. I'm going to
write them all down. Sorry, go ahead.
Adam, I'm getting a report out of the storm to the west. Dime-sized hail, some larger.
Was this the Boisa vein storm?
Yes.
Western storm?
That's coming from Mandy.
Dime? Oh, Mandy said that. Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you hear that? Was that on the reports group?
No, that was just someone texted me.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you, Mandy. Appreciate that. The warning says golf balls possible, but so far we've only had up to marble reports, I think.
Yeah. A bit more to add to that is there's some flooding and some really, really strong winds.
Oh. That's not good. Flooding in Boise vein?
Yes, it sounds that way.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
I'm getting some clarification on that. Yeah, in Boise vein.
So Boisa vein. Yeah. Boisa vein dealing with flooding, which is not good. Definitely not good. These storms moving so slow. Are they still, is that storm that I mentioned rotation on still inside the polygon I drew? I think so. I don't think it's left that polygon. It looks so much weaker from the eastern storm looks so much weaker from Minot. But the Boisa vein storm, that's in a weird spot. If that was right, this is why I love comparing. If this reflectivity is exactly where this supposed rotation was, then I'd be more concerned, but that's up here. So that's not matching up. So again, I don't think the US radars are the best to watch right now because I think they're now we're getting closer to the Canadian radars. That's weird.
I've just been watching it from the Woodlands radar for the past couple minutes.
Oh, from Woodlands?
Yep. especially for the eastern storm. I think it's getting more towards there.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure we have the latest future radar here. Give me 1 second here. Having a connection issue on the raw data, but that's probably on my end. Let's see where it's trying to pull these storms. Still trying to pull them northeast. They're still kind of moving east. They are going slow. These are some slow storms. I mean, if you're a storm spotter, these are your favorite storms of all time because they're moving incredibly slow. When you're storm spotting and there's storms that are racing at 100 kilometers an hour, that is like, you kind of like get a chance to see it and then it's gone. So that is not only terrifying, but also very frustrating. Yeah, in this particular case, yeah, it looks like Winnipeg. Everybody's asking about Winnipeg. Winnipeg could see a storm by, let's see here. Could see a storm by 10:30-ish, 11 o'clock. That's a lot of precip over a long period of time over Winnipeg. So I'm wondering if oh, Eric says Radar Scope has a data feed issue too. So maybe the data feed issue isn't on my end. Maybe it's actually from the source itself. That would be bad if raw radar went down right now. That would be bad. That would not be good. I would not be happy with that. Let me see.
I haven't been having any issues with it.
I'm not having any issues on other options here. So, oh no. Yeah, maybe.
I'm having some trouble loading RS.
I had some trouble for a sec. We're a little bit problematic here. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Oh well, we'll wait for it. Oh, I got Woodlands. Woodlands,
yeah,
at least.
Very slow. It's very slow to load.
That's odd. Okay, well, I'll flip back to it here. So I got Woodlands at least. Woodlands is something. Is that storm going to merge yet? Let's see. Oh, it's getting close. The merge is imminent. Merging storms. Interesting. Let's see here. Tommy says, where do you source your main radar page? The one where you swipe back and forth just for comparison. Is it a website? Just curious. It is actually a website, but it's a website that we've built. This is actually, let me see if I'm, 1 second here. I'll show you actually what it looks like in the full screen. Let me go into studio mode here and do a little experiment. Let me see. There we go. This is actually our own product that we've been developing. We're going to call it Instant Weather Pro. And I'm super excited about getting it out there and showing everybody. It's going to be awesome. So I'll show you what the full screen actually looks like here. 1 second here. That should be good. Okay. So this is actually what it looks like in full screen. And again, this is going to be called Instant Weather Pro. And let me just swipe this back. We just got a new update there. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so those storms are about to merge. That's going to be interesting. So we've got split screen, we've got single screen, we've got swipe over, we've got historical data back, and Canadian historical data is going to go back a year, which I don't think is available anywhere. So that's going to be really exciting. But yeah, I just have it zoomed in so the city names are larger there, so that's why it does that. But yeah, we're pretty excited about showing that off to everybody. It's going to be awesome. So can't wait to get it out there. But yeah, this is our own product, and it's called Instant Weather Pro. So more details soon. Tommy, hopefully that answers your question. Let's see here. Oh, my face is covering Saint Agatha. Is that how you pronounce it? Agathe? Agatha?
Agath.
Agath?
Or
Agatha. You sure it's Agath? I'm probably wrong.
I've always pronounced it that way, but I might be wrong.
Saint Agath? All right, we're going to find out because everyone's going to correct us. It's either Saint Agath or Saint Agatha. Yup, says Christy. Ooh, what is the yup for? I feel like the yup is for Alanis. Agath. She's right. Of course she's right. She's always right. That's 77 for Atlanta. 0 for me. Northern Ice Dragon. I thought you just corrected me. I thought I actually just got her name wrong, but she said Atlantis. I'm like, oh, have I been pronouncing your name wrong this whole time? No.
I have a view of the Boys of Ain storm from a report on Twitter.
Oh,
from what's her Michela?
Yep.
Michela?
Yep.
I hope I'm pronouncing her name wrong, I'm sure.
Here it is. Here.
Oh, sorry. Here, let me pull it up. There we go. Awesome.
There's
I
one.
appreciate you doing that. That's great.
And then there's this one. This one I find is more interesting because you get the structure there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
nice.
Absolutely.
It looks like it's flattening off the top there.
It was Iwasiak? Michela Iwasiak? Awasiak? Help me.
I'm not too sure.
That's from Killarney?
Yep, that's west of Killarney, looking towards the Boys of Ain storm.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool. All right. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. So, hey, look at you switching that up. Nice. Okay. So, are we getting Foxhorn yet? Yay! Raider's back. Okay. Excuse me. Oh my. Hello. That storm hasn't even merged yet, and it's got its own mezzo. And that is west of Clearwater, north of Mather, west of Crystal City, west of Pilot Mound. And this might be the circumstance where the merge destroys the rotation. But that is a clear rotation signature right in the sweet spot of that storm. So that's something.
What radar station are you looking at that from? Woodlands?
I'm using Foxhorn there.
Foxhorn? Okay.
It's right on the edge of radar, though, so maybe I should try a different radar station.
Yeah, try Woodlands.
Yeah, Woodlands is not as good, but there's something going on. There's still something there. Right here. Yeah, there's still something there. Looks really impressive, though, from Foxhorn, but Foxhorn's further away now, I think. Which means it's higher up in storm. Whoa. What's going on in the Ninja Storm here? If I pronounced that wrong, then that's it. I'm throwing in a towel for the night. Ninga. If that's not ninja, is it? It's probably not. I probably got it wrong, right? It is wrong. Tell me it's wrong.
I'm staying out of this one. I don't know.
I don't know either.
You don't know? It could be Ga. Ninga. Oh man. Can't pronounce a thing. Why?
I was looking away. I thought you were calling the storm a ninja. And I was like, what are you talking about?
It's Ninja Storm. Ninga, says Jesse. I got it wrong again.
All right, signing off.
Saint Agath. All right, well, it's nice to see you all again. Ninga. Is it Ninga? If I lived there, I would say I live in Ninja. I'm just saying. Ninja's sweet. It's a sweet name. But no, it's Ninga. I got it wrong. Again. Tommy says, got it. So I'm guessing Instant Weather Pro will be available as a paid subscription service at some point. Looks nice. Yes, that's what it will be, a subscription tier. Probably have it available through our free app, but then it'll be a subscription tier from that. So we're working on the pricing for that right now. We're not entirely sure. Not entirely sure, but we're trying our best. So even my wife's laughing at me. She says, what did you say? There's my lovely wife, Amanda. Hi, Amanda. How are you? It's Ninga. Oh, hell on. He said Ning. Ninga. Oh, I'm actually wrong there again. So it's not ninja. It's not Ninga. It's Ning. Ninga. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Ashley says, is it looking bad for Winnipeg around 11 p.m.? That looks interesting. I think maybe the main risk there is going to be flooding, because it looks like there could be a ton of precipitation with that one. But that's future radar. It could change, so we're going to have to watch how it develops. It has shifted slightly a few times. What's happening here? Is that just hail, Liam? That might just be a hail mezzo, but what's the V-rot? Only 37 to 48. It looked 51 to 37. I feel like it looks stronger than it is. I don't know. Let me see here. Elevation 2. Oh, it's there. Elevation 3. It's being supported above. That's quite interesting. Quite interesting. No more flooding, please, says JC. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you definitely don't want flooding, especially in the concrete jungles where you have, big cities where there's just nowhere for the water to go. Then then you have definitely some issues. Oh, Mandy did message me as well too, and she said they're punching the core. I think we are in Boisevane. We experienced at least dime-sized hail. Oh, she mentioned that too. Some golf ball, she said. Whoa. Very flooded in Boisevane. So hopefully everybody's staying safe there. Strong winds. Had to grab onto a garbage can. That doesn't seem like a great way to... Maybe she meant like a dumpster. Like a garbage can's not going to stop you from blowing away in the winds, but maybe a dumpster. Maybe she said dumpster. Maybe she meant dumpster. I'm typing dumpster too. Dumpster or garbage can? I mean, like, I feel like it'd have to be a really heavy garbage can to slow you down. Just saying. Aw, my son says good night, Dada. Oh, tell him to come down here and I'll give him a big hug and a big kiss. Pretty please. Andrea says it is Ninga. Ninga. So Ning and then Ga. Ninga. Okay. I'll try to remember that. Thank you so much, Andrea. I appreciate that. Sorry for all those who I got it wrong. It's very common knowledge that I can't pronounce anything. So there's that. But that's no excuse for my ignorance. But it is Ninga. 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 Thank you. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate that too. Thanks so much, Jesse. And Andrea for the proper pronunciation of that. Jacob says, I think she blew away with the garbage can. I hope not. Please no. JC says a white shell is so bad. Only road in and out to our lake is flooded and the northern park has been evacuated. So yeah, flooding again, we have these days where we're watching for tornado risk, we're watching for damaging wind risk, and then a lot of the time at the end of the day, at the end of these situations, we hear flood. So yeah, obviously White Shell getting flooded, Boisevane getting flooded. Lisa says Mather sounds like Mather. Oh, that's good to know too. Mather. Thank you. Lower MB has had tons of flooding this spring. Yeah, the flooding has been ridiculous in Manitoba this spring. I agree. The White Shell Cottage Country has had lots of flooding and damage. That's brutal. Hopefully everybody's staying safe. I think flooding causes more fatalities with severe weather than anything else, by far.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
especially
the flash
in
flooding in the U.S. Oh well, yeah, of course, absolutely. The flash flooding in the U.S. is by far more fatal than anything else they have there. So, yeah, very, very dangerous stuff. We definitely don't want to hear about flooding. We hopefully want everybody to stay safe. We don't hopefully want everybody to stay safe. We want everybody to stay safe. Still lots of flood risk there. Ninga might be getting some flooding as well too. It's dealing with that same storm that Boisevane has been dealing with as well. The problem with these is they're moving so slow. What is the forward motion on these storms? 0 kilometers an hour. They're going so slow.
I'll say, yeah, we were in Deloraine like almost 3 hours ago.
Yeah. We've been live for 3 hours and these storms have moved an inch on radar. They're not going anywhere. That's why this flooding.
Maybe 50 kilometers.
Wow. That's crazy. Oh, those storms are starting to merge. Here we go. What's going to happen? Gonna need a drum roll. By the way, Liam, I'd love to play drums for you sometime. That'd be fun.
Sure.
I like drums because they don't require me to think about chords. Some people are like, oh, drums are way harder than guitar. I'm like, nope. No, I played a wedding one time where someone's like, hey, can you play this wedding on drums? I'm like, yep. And they're like, do you want to know what songs there are? I'm like, nope. I'm like, okay. And then it's like, hey, everybody, here's the drummer. A 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm like, these guys are like A, G, D, B. They're like doing all these different chord changes. And I'm just like, la, da, 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 da. I don't know how to think about I didn't even have to know the songs. I was just like, I think there's going to be a change here. Yeah,
Yep.
drums are for
If you
not
have the
knowing the
coordination.
songs. Yeah, if you have the exactly, I could keep
Yep.
time. You know, I could anticipate the bluesy changes of this wedding set list. Anyways, yeah. So drums are, I personally think drums are much, much easier from a chord perspective. And by the fact that there is no chords for drums.
There are no chords, yeah.
There's none. This is interesting. Valerie says, is there forest fire smoke in the air? Carmen area seems very smoky. Atlanta is our forest fire expert. She's actually been working pretty hard on the wildland fire risk maps and stuff and all that. So I will leave that one up to her, but she's probably going to take a peek into it first before she answers.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the active fires in the area. According to the government webpage with FireView, there are no fires currently burning right now throughout the province. So could be someone just having like a bonfire nearby, perhaps.
Yeah, it's possible. I wonder if we could see it on high-res sat. Be interesting. Judy says, bright sunshine in Steinbach. Again, lots of daytime heating before these storms show up is not necessarily a good thing. I wonder if I should pull my the rotation update I put out. I don't think I ever took that off. I also think the storm is still inside of that polygon.
Yep.
Which is crazy. Is it?
Let
me find it.
Check when you mentioned it a couple minutes ago, it still was, but
it's still inside of it.
When I checked a couple minutes ago,
they're just not moving.
The one you posted an hour ago, the rotation detected, home field Cartwright. Yeah, top, it goes to almost Greenway. So
Lenora. Yep. Oh, I see. This is
It's a little bit east of it now. It's a little bit east of it.
I think it's a little bit east of it now. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna take it off the app just for now. Just for now. If this thing starts to really pick up again, then I'll put that back on. But yeah. Oh, I better take that off too. Okay, there we go. All right, I'll take that down. Okay, so she said a gas station refuse container. Oh, she was holding onto a. Oh wow, that's intense. That's pretty intense winds if you're grabbing onto a gas station garbage. Holy, that's intense, Mandy. Holy. Hope you're all right. Okay, so there's that. Let's see here.
Blocking that person.
Oh, so you got that one?
Yes. Wow, that was fast. Yeah, the spam is unbelievable. And it's always on YouTube too. It's like
I think because YouTube has the easiest way to sign up with a Google account. Facebook and Twitch and them have a pretty good anti-spam sign up method. You have to link a phone number or whatever now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Michael says, why are we seeing severe storms when temperatures aren't too high? It's unusual. Yeah, so you don't always necessarily need super high temperatures, but when there's a lot of wind shear, which there is right now, temperatures don't really have to be that high. I mean, you know, and historically there's been tornadoes at 10 Celsius before. There's been, as long as there's a lot of wind shear, that can make up for the lack of heat. So as long as there's a lot of moisture, a lot of wind shear, you can have these. There's actually a product for that. It's called sherbs, I think. You can have these low heat but high shear, high moisture events. So I think the Cape is still reasonably high, but even with the temperatures not skyrocketing, you can still have severe weather. So for sure. Okay, so let's take a look at the comments here. So what do you think? Are these storms going to get going? The merge is almost happening. We've been waiting for this merge for 3 hours. I think we might have to throw in the towel at some point in time, but oh wow. The Ninga storm is still has a nice little mezzo on it. Still has some nice rotation on the Ninga storm. Any reports? I don't think so. Spotters are just sitting around watching this produce a lot of rain and hail. And we're just sitting here waiting. Still a tornado watch in place, I believe. Yeah. Still seeing a tornado watch from Environment Canada. Only severe thunderstorm warnings in place. I say only severe thunderstorm warnings should obviously still be taken seriously. When you have large damaging hail, you have damaging wind gusts, and you have obviously some flooding that is occurring, which is not the greatest. Probably the most dangerous out of all of them. Let's see if we can get an update here. Oh, we did get an update. The Ninga storm still has a bit of rotation. The merge is not doing anything spectacular. The merge is just a little bit on the meh side, which is near Glenora, Dry River, Pilot Mound. And so far, it hasn't really created some strong mezzo or anything to that extent. So nothing exciting happening there. I think at some point in time, we're going to throw in the towel, but we'll probably keep watching radar carefully as we move forward.
I have another video from Michela.
Oh, you do?
Michela. Right here. This is west of Killarney looking towards, I'm guessing, what is that? The storm on the west. Oops, sorry.
West of Killarney. Yeah, she's looking towards the Ninga storm. Yep. Oh, so that's the Ninga storm right there. Wow.
Yep.
Excuse me.
A lot of rain here.
Yeah, big ton of precip in there. Yep. Yeah, rain and hail core in there. Yeah.
You got like the
nice shelf on it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a decent shelf, so awesome. And that is definitely go give her a follow. What's her handle there?
It's her name. I can post it in our chat.
Yeah, please do. Please do, and I'll link that as well too, so everybody can go give her a follow. She's on the ball. Let's see here, just looking through the comments. Interesting. Thanks, guys. Says Michael. Thanks so much, bud. Appreciate it. Oh, where did you put it in our team chat? Oh, you put it in there. Okay.
Canada weather.
Sorry, I thought you put it in the StreamYard chat. Okay, so I see. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna link this for everybody. Please go give her a follow. She's one of the skilled storm spotters in Manitoba, and she also storm spots, and I think she also does Saskatchewan and Alberta as well too. And I'm pretty sure she's gone down to the States before as well. So please give her a follow. Give 1 second here. Michela a follow on Twitter. Pretty please. I'll say please give Michela a follow on Twitter and I'll link her Twitter account here. If you are on Twitter, please give her a follow. Second. My cat he likes to, and when he's hungry, he circles me like a shark, gently rubbing against my legs, which infuriates me.
Yeah, when I went for dinner, my office chair got usurped real quickly by my cat.
Yes, it happens. They're like, oh, it's warm. Although when I give him a boot out of my office chair, he does warm it up quite nicely for me. So it's nice. So we're kind of floating here as far as timing is concerned. These storms kind of still sitting they're not really rotating at this point in time. I'm wondering if they're being mitigated maybe somehow. I'm unsure. That's interesting. Where did our velocity go? 1 second here. Oh, I see. Okay. There we go. Okay. So let's take a look. Yeah, they're not very exciting at this point in time. Ooh, 1 second here. Oh, that's why we're beta testing. I had that happen before. I wonder if it's sometimes when it can't pull the data, it does that. We just need to have an algorithm in place that says if that happens, just like default back to a previous data. It's odd that it does that. There we are. Okay, so
yeah, the hail core on that western storm just seems like it's dying out pretty quick.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, it's not very exciting at this point. So I'm wondering if, you know what's gonna happen. We're gonna like say, okay, well, we're see you guys later. We're gonna, and then it's just gonna like pick up crazy, and then it's gonna be Toro Wars all over the place. Maybe we should. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave everything the way it is right now.
Yep.
As is. And if for some reason these storms go total crazy gangbusters and explode and go to town, then we will come back and live stream, or at least I'll come back and live stream, and maybe Liam will join us, and maybe Alana will join us.
I'll be here.
But you know, if that does, you'll be here.
Yep.
Fiddling all.
Well, if we come back, I don't think we'll have time. If we come back, if it's crazy enough,
if we come back, we'll be. If we come back, it's going to be bananas, and we're going to be going to town. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I don't know. What do you think? Should Liam play us, fiddle us out here? What do you think? Can you fiddle as the storms fizzle? Do you mind fiddling us out?
I'll play a quick tune. That sounds good. Yeah.
All right. So before you do that, though, I'll say thank you everybody for joining us on the stream. Hopefully everybody stays safe with these storms. The flooding looks intense, so I hope everybody's staying safe with that. Again, thank you so much for joining us on the stream. We may be back if these storms go to town. Right now, they're kind of just sitting in kind of a not really doing that much state. You know, they are under severe thunderstorm warning, so take that seriously for sure. That's mainly for the flooding risk, for the hail, and for the winds. But as far as the rotation is concerned, they're not really strengthening at this point in time. Again, as soon as we end the stream, they're going to go to no. They might just stay where they are. Hopefully, they fizzle out, but they might strengthen. And if they really do strengthen, then we will for sure come back onto the stream. But we'll have to see how it goes. But
yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened last week. We signed off for maybe 15 minutes, and then I'm calling you like, Adam, tornado warning, pick up your phone.
Tornado warning, I know. Yeah, northeastern Ontario, all of a sudden out of nowhere, tornado warning on that cell. Yeah, but that didn't last very long. That lasted for all of 5-10 minutes or something like that. So, and then that rotation died right out. So, anyways, so yeah, Liam's gonna play us out. Thank you so much, everybody. Really, really appreciate it. Hopefully, everybody stays safe, and we'll talk to y'all very soon. Have yourself a wonderful night. And we may be back. We'll see. We'll see. You ever?
Oh. Nope.
What? Oh my God. Thanks so much, Liam. You rock, buddy. You rock, man. That's great. Bye, everyone. Have yourself a wonderful night. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.